After a 25-game regular season, nothing separated these two teams, tied on 13 wins and 3 draws apiece. Tonight, the winner punches their ticket to this Saturday's grand final against West Torrens, but for the loser, it's the long kiss goodnight. Hello and welcome to the Softball SA Premier League preliminary final between the Hills Heat and the Walkerville Cats in the 10th year of live stream broadcasting, thanks to Spakesweight Sports, and we play on Gunner Land. I'm your play-by-play caller, James Harris. Joining me tonight is the man that helped us start it all a decade ago, Mr. Eric Bolnar.
Yeah, this should be a fun one. Obviously, like you said, they tied on points during the season, and it's sort of been the story of the season. You'd say Hills, they were top 2 most of the year up until the final day of the season, versus a defending champion, I might add, in Walkerville, who I think have been overlooked a little bit in a season that have had a lot of big-time storylines. I'll touch on that more a little later. Speaking
of storylines, how about our co-commentator, newly crowned Cath Coral medalist for 2026, now a 3-time winner, the one, the only, Stephanie Trzynski.
Quite the lead in there, James. Thank you for that. I'm so excited to see the game tonight. Obviously out here scouting a little bit. We'll be playing the winning team on Saturday. Both of these teams have had really strong seasons. Walkerville's really come on really strong this later half of the season. So I think regardless what happens, I think we'll see probably the best from both teams. It'll be a really good game tonight.
I actually had to edit the opening, Steph, because you're also the pitcher of the year as well, the Laurie Brown medalist. You were also named in the team of the year for the 8th time, a record-tying 5 starting pitcher positions. Massive year for you, Steph, and you've already got your team already through to the grand final, so you're sitting back, feet up tonight, watching from the best seat in the house.
Yeah, you may as well have a burrito to enjoy it with, too.
Definitely still doing my work, still had my training tonight, but really, really good for West Torrens to come out with a win on Saturday, give us a little bit more freedom, plan out our week a little bit, take tonight off, and watch some quality softball getting ready for Saturday.
2 teams tonight. There's Taylor Caudle and Chelsea Robinson on screen. Your Gold Glove winner, Chelsea Robinson, and last year's Pitcher of the Year and Player of the Year, Taylor Caudle, on screen. The 2 teams have played 5 times. Now, Hills, believe it or not, have won 3 of those. Walkerville won, and they had a 1-all draw. A few points to consider. All of Hills' wins against Walkerville have been on a Wednesday night in this season. The for and against is Hills 12 runs and Walkerville 10. Hills beat Seacombe in an extra inning classic on Saturday to progress to this game, whereas Walkerville was beaten by West Torrens by a single run. I said before, nothing between them.
Yeah, and Hills play tight. That's sort of symptomatic of their, at least, post-Christmas campaign. Like, entering finals, it was weird for Hills, right? They had only 1 win in their final 6 games leading into finals. But the nature of the games were weird. They had 2 draws, they had 2 one-run losses, and a 5-1 loss to this Walkerville team. And then they end up winning again by 1 run over in their finals win on Saturday afternoon, too. So this team plays games really, really tight, is my point here. And I think that's what you might see today again.
Player of the game is the Carve Eyewear Player of the Game. Now, Carve is our sponsor for tonight's broadcast. Thank you so much to our friends at Carve. Tonight's Player of the Game will also receive a $30 food and beverage voucher to Sporty's Bar, thanks to the Arca Bar and Carve Sunnies. Steph, you won a couple of pairs of Sunnies this year, didn't you?
Yeah, I have come in pretty lucky with them. They're really handy to have. Yeah. They're very stylish too. Quite enjoy.
The play of the game powered by Eastern Australia. The play of the game will earn a $100 Eastern Australia voucher, thanks to our very special friends at Eastern Australia for supporting the play of the game for the entire season. None of the games tonight. The next game is the grand final, the last broadcast of the year, starting at 7 p.m, the grand final, where West Torrens awaits the winner of tonight's game. Well, you'd probably say in a head-to-head matchup between both of these teams that West Torrens might be a little worried, no matter who wins.
Yeah, both teams are really strong on their day, and I think especially going into finals, we don't typically play 7 innings, right? Through our regulation season, we just play to a time. the advantage that both of these teams here have is they've both got two really, really strong pitchers that we know that they've used Harvey and they've used Yankovic almost interchangeably all season. So they've got depth here. And with Walkerville, we know that obviously Taylor Cordell is an absolute rock star in the centre, in the middle, but we've also got Lizzie Avery, who we haven't seen much of, but we know that she can throw really well there too. So going into having to play the extra game on the Wednesday and going into the 7-inning games, both of these teams have the pitching depth to be able to get through that.
The two teams are in quite different stages, though, of their softball lifespans, I suppose, and even just in their experience and career. Like, let's take a look right now at the sheet in front of us, which is Walkerville's defensive lineup. Leave out the DP right now. Just the defensive lineup, left field, whatever it is. You can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 champions that have won a premiership in the last 12 months, right? They're the defending champions. They got there last year. Taylor Cottle was the pitcher. Chelsea Robinson, she wasn't catching, but she was on that team. Sophie King had a big finals campaign and grand final as well. She's on screen now. She's won multiple championships and being a multiple player in it. There's 3 mums on this team. There's a lot of experience on this Walkerville team. With the win that Hills had in the finals on Saturday, so if you took their 2026 finals win total and compared it to their 2023-24 season wins total, they're equal, right? Like, they won 1 game 2 years ago. It's a team that has 6 players under the ages of 22 in their lineup, and the other 2, well, they're imports. So one is rife full of experience and knows how to win. Some have won 3 championships already. Some have just won 1 finals game in their 1 finals opportunity. So it's just interesting to see 2 different people or teams on their different eclipses of their softball life in this one.
Very unique perspective from one of the best in the business, Eric Bolnar, and the best in the business, Steph Trzynski, joining me on commentary tonight. Let's talk about superstars. There is an 18-year-old on the Hills lineup. She's going to lead off the game, who hit her Premier League maiden home run in an elimination final. The wind has picked up here at West Beach tonight. There's every chance if she can put one into flight, it's going to sail.
I think she'd be pretty happy with that tonight. And you know that Taylor Cordell doesn't give up a lot of runs, doesn't give up a lot of hits, but she is that sort of typical Riseball pitcher. So if Abby or anyone on the lineup can get hold of one, that's where Walkerville might struggle a little bit, because the ball, with that backspin, it will fly.
Another one of their power hitters in their lineup is Charisma Bergensen, and she had about 15 extra base hits on the year, Eric, and including a few towering home runs. So big power hitting lineup there for the Hills. Might be favoured by the breeze tonight.
Well, Charisma Bergeson actually played with Taylor Cottle for 1 year at Boise State in the NCAA. And in one of the early interviews we did earlier in the year, Charisma, she announced herself on the scenes. In her first broadcast game, she hit a couple home runs in it. We talked to her when she was on a broadcast as well about her relationship with Taylor Cottle, and she says, I think I know how to hit Taylor Cottle. I think I know that both of them are very analytical, how they go. So she's not shy in confidence, Charisma Bergeson, when she steps into the plate. So it'll be interesting to see that matchup between 2 old friends.
Big change for the Hills Heat tonight from Saturday's team. Starting pitcher.
For Hills, yeah, Sarah Harvey. That's a big in. Obviously, I think they would be pretty pumped that they got in there. Anytime you have a player that has NCAA caliber experience, she's pitched in Europe for a couple years, being a champion over at Bond Capitals. And we were talking before the broadcast, Steph. Her second half of the season in particular, I think, has been a little underrated from Sarah Harvey.
Yeah, I think early in the season, new team. She's just come off the back of a European season. She struggled a little bit, but has been very consistent and very dominant. Not even just the second half. I'm going to say the later 2/3 of the season. I think it was just a bit of a slower start for her, but she's been really consistent, really good for the Hills. And I also think Reggie's found that good combination with Michaela and Harvey, being able to use them both to their strengths as well, and it's really set them up well going into this final series.
Big crowd starting to arrive for this massive matchup. Also a big week, the Sepsaza Carnival. 50 teams, if you don't mind, playing out in the reserve this week. The future of softball in South Australia. Let's have a look now at some award winners from Sunday night's Adelaide competition awards night. 5 of the 12 players named in the Team of the Year playing tonight. Relief pitcher Taylor Cordell and catcher Chelsea Robinson for the Cats, and then for the Hills, Charisma Bergenson at third. Outfield, Sarah Harvey, and utility, Abby Bastion. Let's go to Taylor Caudle. She's on screen. Two seasons played, 2 times in the Team of the Year. Chelsea Robinson, 8-time winner in the selection in Team of the Year this week. First time ever as catcher. 6 times as utility. Then you have a look at the 3 debutants in the Team of the Year from the Hills, Bergenson, Harvey, and Bastion. Just the meat of their lineup.
Taylor Caudle, though, the key, right? She's got that 1.37 ERA in 76 innings. Walkerville only allowed 3 runs since Christmas leading into the finals.
About to get underway, Taylor Caudle, Abby Bastion. Preliminary final underway. I rise for a ball. Thanks to Carve Eyewear, you see that in the scoreboard. Thanks to Akabar, who did semi-final Saturday, and it'll be the Scoots Cafe grand final this Saturday. That one's in there for a called strike, and Caudle's underway.
Yeah, that stat was kind of mind-blowing going through all the numbers leading into this game. I had to double-check that a few times. That was just 3 runs since Christmas.
Hard hit shot to the shortstop. It bounces off the left knee of Sophie King, and the lead-off aboard for the Hills Heat.
Abby Bastion has had 5 plate appearances in her finals career, and she's been on base 5 times.
Watch to our left. Sue Norris and Jill Williams colouring in the circles tonight. We've got a green pen. That was hit hard. Yeah, impressive start from the youngster. She'll get a big jump as Georgia Mason ends up at the end of the barrel, just charging in on that bunt attempt from Marich. Oh, she pulled back. Bastion off to a big lead.
Had the Easton play of the game in the last final, mind you, Zoe Marich.
Had a season as well, didn't she? 300-plus season. Fouls this one off, and she'll go 1-1 as Eric goes to the stat sheet. She was the best Australian batting average in the Hills Heat lineup.
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks about Abby Bastion. She had a great season, and she deserves all the recognition she gets, Abby does. But Zoe Marich had a 326 batting average to the 313 average. Only a couple hits separating that. But the point is Zoe Marich, sneaky good year.
1-1. Gets the bunt down this time. It's going to be a safe hit. Laid to perfection. It just picked that sweet spot between the catcher and the third base player. Abby Bastion safe to second, and the Hills are away.
I love how great and how composed Zoe Marich stays in the box there. You see her timing so good. She hits the top of the ball. She knows she's getting that rise ball. Just gets it in that no man's land. Chelsea does everything right picking it up, but Marich with her speed, absolutely no doubt for that safe at first.
Hills Heat and the Walkerville Cats have a timeout to have a chat, and well, just like West Torrens on Saturday night, out of the blocks early against Taylor Caudle and the Cats. Haven't scored yet, but you know, the 3, 4, 5 hitters up with none out and 2 runners aboard.
Bergeson, Harvey, and King can all bop as well.
Be interesting to see what Coach Reggie does here. We've got runners on 1 and 2 with none out, top of the first. You know that runs are going to come at a premium. You've got your best hitter up to bat. Do you let her swing?
You have to. I think so.
Walkerville will defend the bunt. Bergenson, it's a little pop-up, but into play. Avery decides to field it, fire it across to first. The sacrifice bunt executed. 2 runners in scoring position. Have a look at the Carve Eyewear replay. It did. There was a chance.
That could have been a disaster.
Just a little hesitation maybe there by the fielders. Not sure who was going to come in. I think that might have been a catchable ball. But at the flip side, I don't think the corners were expecting her to bunt.
Well, we'll never know. Here's Harvey, who's had a couple of games off. First pitch swinging, the ball goes up the middle. Great diving play from King. Fires it across, the throw's wild. Here comes the runner. From 2, she scores all the way from 2, Zoe Marich. Sarah Harvey brings in 2.
Wow.
What a play from King. Let herself down with the throw. Harvey safe.
What an effort there by Kingy. That was for her to be able to glove that so cleanly. I think maybe when she came up to make the throw, it kind of looked like Harvey was going to beat it out. Maybe she went to throw, tried to pull back. I'm not really sure what happened. There was probably always going to be a run on that play. Potentially, maybe in that situation, she could have ate the ball, held onto it, just let the 1-run score.
Well, plenty of action. Getting a chance to catch my breath as Georgia King comes up to bat, Eric.
Yeah, Zoe Marich, to your point there, Steph has just generated a run with her wheels, right? Beats out the infield single and then scores from second on that play.
Massive cut just under the rise ball. 1-1 count for King.
And you look at it, Hills now have 2 runs on the board and a ball hasn't really left the infield.
2 hard shots to shortstop.
2 hard shots to shortstop. One that ricocheted into the outfield.
But yeah,
really?
Right.
And 2 bunts as well.
No,
right?
not really.
So
that is exactly what's happened.
every batter done their job so far for the Hills Heat.
Oh, that's a nice pitch there by Taylor, getting that outside edge.
Wow, what a lightning fast start from the Hills Heat.
Not too dissimilar from the semi-final for Walkerville, like in terms of allowing a couple runs early. Potentially they'll want to see themselves settle down, just like they did in the semi.
Well, that's the way to do it. Taylor Caudle, rise ball to strike out Georgia King for the second out.
So, Steph, Taylor Caudle is a pitcher that is used to having things go her way by her own doing, right? Like not a lot of base runners, a lot of strikeouts, not a lot of people on base. When you get off to a tough, it's not even necessarily her fault, but a couple runs on the board, first 2 get on base, first page score. When you're in there in the circle, are there some like self-talk trigger points? Like what are you saying to yourself in these sort of moments?
I think potentially she might just be. If it's me,
yeah,
all I'm focusing.
That's all you can talk for.
All I'm trying to do is hit spots because everything else is completely out of your control, right?
Jemison first pitch swing goes foul.
So is that any different from what it would be if you struck out the first 2 batters?
Not necessarily. Because I think sometimes if you are in that space where you are throwing really well or having lots of strikeouts, it can also be really easy to start to lead the ball over the plate or to get too excited. So I probably would go to the same thing where I go, just need to keep a level head and just keep hitting spots.
Trying to jam inside. I look to my left. I see a 3-time Cath Coral medalist. I look a little further to my left and I see another 3-time Cath Coral medalist in the front row. Laurie Brown, softball royalty in the house tonight. Linda Stansfield, won a Cath Coral medal, the coach of Walkerville. Caudle, of course.
Megan Jemison had some pretty good at-bats in that first final. Long, she took counts deep all throughout the game, got on base a couple of times. It was good to see, right? Like veteran player, calm head, worked the counts.
Some good leadership, middle of the order.
That pitch there from Caudle is going to be absolutely key for her. Keeping it low and on that inside corner really sets up her rise ball, the higher one, so well. Because you see that high rise ball enough, you can start to lay off it. But if she's going to throw those strikes low and then change the eye level, just off the plate, that one there, but a great spot.
Jemison, one of the few Australian players in the Hills lineup that could have an adult beverage in the United States.
That means over the age of 21, for those that don't know. Full count, runner will go. Strikeout looking, and, well, Sarah Harvey smashed one to shortstop. It was a great diving effort from Sophie King, but 2 runs scored off the play, and then all of a sudden Taylor Caudle just turns it up a little
Hitting spots, right?
Gets the next 2 strikeouts and gets Walkerville out of that inning. But it was a 2-run start to the Hills Heat in the preliminary final for 2026.
Well, Hills will take the field. And I think we're just confirming our pitcher right now for Hills. But out in left field will be Bree Luxon, Zoe Marich in center field, Lara Tamke in right. Charisma Bergeson is at third base, Abby Bastian at short, Chloe Zakale at second, Megan Jemson at first. Georgia King is catching now. Sarah Harvey was listed as the starting pitcher, but a late change. Listed as the DP as well, so you can make these changes. And it's happening now. It'll be Michaela Yankovic that will start this game instead in the circle.
Some softball traditionalists might not know the flex rule. It is only a decade or so old and mostly only ever used at the highest level in this capacity. So that is Coach Reggie Fairley just going to a trick bag here, listing a starting player, Sarah Harvey, which gives the flexibility of being able to re-enter in the game or to remain in the hitting lineup with Michaela Yankovic listed as the designated player. So they're going to flip that. They're going to go back to 9 instead of 10 starting players because Michaela Yankovic was listed as the DP. So Brianna Luxon was named to play left field. And correct me if I'm wrong, is Sarah Harvey out there?
No.
Maybe they've gone to an Oppo.
What I see is potentially a change where Sarah Harvey is now the DP and Yankovic is the... So that's just a positional change.
Oppo, right. Offensive player only. Chelsea Robinson's going to lead things off for the Cats as we try to get to the bottom of that. I'm looking to my left, the scorers, maybe to whisper in your ear, Eric, as Michaela Yankovic, who threw an 8-inning beauty on Saturday, gets the start for the Hills Heat.
What a cool moment this must be for Michaela, though, going up against Walkerville, one of her former teams, in a final. Had the opportunity to go to Hills to pitch some innings, and pitch some innings she did, 60 2/3, had the 2.77 ERA on the year, and came back from college. She was at Pittsburgh, and has really been one of the big leaders of this Hills team that has gone from cellar dwellers to fighting for the top of the table throughout the whole year, and she has been a pretty big part of that, Michaela, in her return to South Australia, Steph.
Yeah, she's really stepped up a lot, in my opinion, especially the second half of the season. And the character in the fight that she showed on Saturday, not having that relief pitcher in Sarah Harvey available, was really, really impressive. She's just been going from strength to strength the second half of the season, especially after coming off what was a really successful state team campaign for her over the summer break.
Yeah, under-23 national champion. Then she went away with the Stars. They were runners-up. Just absolute huge contribution from a young player. First time in both those teams. Confirmation from our magnificent scoring team. It was positional change, 1 to OPO. Chelsea Robinson smashes one to the left side. A glove on it from Bastian. The throw comes in quick, smart, because Chelsea is an aggressive runner.
Same start we had with Hills batting.
Very similar.
Hard hit ball to short, going soft the glove, and off we go.
Carvaiware replay. She pulls that ball real hard. And have a look at the range on Bastian. Got a glove to it. It will be recorded as a hit as I just finish off what I was saying. 1 to OPO, the offensive player only, and DP to 1. So you're right, just positional changes. No, so they will remain at 10 players in the lineup.
That's the advantage of having... They've got 2 pitchers that are also really great hitters, so it'll be interesting to see again how Coach Fairley manipulates that rule as the game goes on. I imagine if they bring in Harvey to pitch, there'll be another positional change backwards.
It's a when they bring in Harvey to pitch.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be another long game for the Hills Heat tonight. So they will be able to utilise that second pitcher. This is Erin Stone up to bat. She shaped, bunt and fouled it off. How good was Robinson's season? 500 batting average, was in the top handful for the hitting award. She won the defensive or gold glove award, named catcher and team of the year. The bunt does go down. Bergenson quickly onto it, fires it across to Zackley for the first out. Runner in scoring position for the Walkerville Cats.
Again, very similar start to the Heels heat, but Aaron Stone putting that sacrifice bunt down nice and early, looking for the top of the ball. Bergenson just eats it up straight away. Really good placement there by Aaron Stone, but look how close she was. She was right on top of her, made the out, keeping that extra runner off base.
Stayed low, Bergenson, on that throw. Very important to fire one across to beat the speedy Stone. Sorry to cut you off.
I was just going to say, if you've got someone with like the likes of Lizzie Avery coming up to bat, you want as minimal runners on base as possible here. You know she's got long ball power, so even that runner on first base, keeping that one off, very handy.
They lost their first game with Lizzie in the lineup on Saturday since her entry into this competition.
Your notes, Eric, not mine, although I did print out the stats. Your notes here, 10 from 17. I think she went 0 for 3 in her first game as well.
Yeah, 10 for 17, home run, 6 RBIs.
She's a strong hitter, and when you've got Chelsea Robinson getting on base...
Diving play! Abby Bastion, put your hand up for play of the game powered by Eastern Australia. Lizzie Avery hits this one like a tracer bullet. Let's have a look on the carve eyewear replay.
She absolutely got all of it. It was hit so quick. We barely had time to get it. Abby just read it so well. Didn't even take a step. That was just straight reactivity there.
Big game Bastion is a real thing. Like, she has played...
Are you making that up now?
She's played 2 finals games in her softball Premier League career. She's been on base all 5 times in all 5 trips to the plate. She had the home run in the first final and ends up with a diving play to possibly take away a run here. That's ridiculous.
Hello to Kerry Porter.
Less.
I'm sure you're watching.
I think that would have obviously scored a run, but that was hit so hard, potentially in a gap. She would have been probably...
High ball, long ball from Sierra Larson. It's deep to left field. It's going to score a run. Luxon picks it up quick, smart. It's a stand-up RBI double for Sierra Larson.
Yeah, Kira Larson got enough of that just to... that's going to be tricky in the outfield to sort of judge those with this wind, I think, too.
Geez, I thought it was gone. She got probably a little under it. Bang!
That was up 2 on the letters. Not a bad pitch. Probably just a little bit too much play. Absolute moonshot. It's so windy out there tonight. Luxon doing her best to track it, but I imagine that ball would have swirled around a little bit in the air. With 2 out, the runner was running on the hit. She was scoring every day. 1 run up on Walkerville.
2 out runner still in scoring position for the crafty veteran Sophie King. She's had multiple premierships, as Eric mentioned at the top of the show. She's been a player of the final as well, so been important for this Walkerville Cats over the course of her career. Former Stars player. I think she was a reserve maybe for an Australian under-19 squad back about 15 years ago when I first started in this job that I love. Stars player, state player, premiership player.
Paramedic.
Lifesaver.
Lifesaver.
Another hard hit shot to the backhand side of Bastion. She thinks about the throw to 1, then overthrows it to Bergeson at 3. So Sophie King will stand up at 2. Larson thinks better of it. And runners at 2 and 3 for the Cats. Timeout called by plate umpire Jason Irvine. Let's look at the carve eyewear replay.
Sophie King got good contact on that. You can see that Abby just reacted a little bit too late, probably, to make the runner at 3. Kingy's such a quick runner that she was going to get safe at first any day. So Abby made the right decision in not throwing it to 1.
Safe at first. She's now at 2nd.
Yeah, correct.
Georgia Mason. It's to my left. I can see a black pen, so it might go down as a fielder's choice in the end. Although King is quick, so we might watch with interest on the eye score a little later, see if a hit was credited or not, but let's just write fielder's choice to shortstop as Georgia Mason watches one for a called strike.
just committed to college as well, Georgia Mason.
I was just going to say, this is an intriguing story because she's also been umpiring around the state, including a men's final on last Friday night at the NAMSA. I think it was a Div 3 final, but still, learning her craft still by umpiring and playing as much as she can. A state champion with Port Pirie in January.
Didn't she win a national championship with the 23s?
National champion with the 23s. The story just of her season just continues to grow because that college signing, that commitment to college is another big one, and we'll miss her. She's been such an intriguing player to watch. She took that barehanded classic last year in this game last year, wasn't it? The preliminary final.
She was huge in the finals last year.
Swings in the dirt, and it'll be a strikeout swinging, and Georgia King just tidies it up with the throw down to Jempson for the third out, and wow, what a first inning. 2 runs scored off some good hitting and some great bunt hitting offense from the Hills Heat, and then Walkerville, return of serve, smashes it from Chelsea Robinson, smashes it from Sierra Larson. Lizzie Avery got ripped off her head as well, but we saw a web gem from Abby Bastion.
So Hills on Saturday in their elimination final, I thought what they did really, really well is minimizing damage, and they left a lot of runners on base defensively, which is great. That's a great sign and a great resolve from pitching, resiliency, defense, all those kind of things. Similar thing here too, right? Like 2 runners left on base, both in scoring position. They started with that runner on base in extra innings in their win, and they stranded that runner. That was what was really impressive about Michaela Yankovic, was the volume of runners they left on base. I mean, things didn't always go cleanly. There was a couple unearned runs in the mix, but I thought that was what was really impressive from Hills last week, and it's carried over here as, they're under pressure a little bit, but they don't really break.
Yeah, just 2 great teams deserved to be in this game. Finished the season on 29 points apiece. Miserly, they were the 2 lowest scored against teams in the league, and you've hit the nail right on the head there. There's some support for Georgia. A couple of the Sapsaza players coming out to watch.
Which Georgia? There's a lot of Georgias
Go
here.
Cats, it'd have to be Georgia Mason, you'd think. Well done to Anthony and his team for the Adelaide competition awards night at the Arca on Sunday night. Just want to make a special mention to Sophie Walton winning the Belinda White medal for the A-grade Rookie of the Year. Great season from Sophie. Bunting first pitch has popped up. There's that player, Georgia Mason. Pack was forming like it was an AFL game as the biggest players flew for the ball. Georgia Mason takes the catch, sporting the Carve eyewear on the hat tonight. Lara Temke, the batter.
Would have been cool if they followed through with that AFL approach and just launched them up in the air. Take a specky.
1 pitch, 1 out as Michaela Yankovic comes to bat, and what a great season it has been from the returning college player. Really played the number 2 role for the Hills Heat brilliantly. Steph, the stats as well show that she was right up there with the competition's best, wasn't she? In the 7-inning averages, she was definitely a great contributor, throwing 7 strikeouts, so one an inning on average, only 3 walks in a game, and only 5 hits on average per game as well. So not to be outdone. Sarah Harvey was a miser. What'd you say before? It was 17 walks from 70 innings or something?
Yeah, she had some pretty low numbers on that. You can find it quickly.
Yeah, she averaged 1.4 walks a game, which is pretty low. She's really good and consistent at just hitting those spots.
Caudle straight back to work after giving up a couple of hits to the first 2 batters, a sacrifice bunt, and then the screaming hit from Sarah Harvey that scored 2 on that play. Since then, strikeout, pop up, 2-2 count here to Yankovic, and she tries to get that outside edge, and You could tell I was gritting my teeth as I said that, because as a catcher, I want that called. As a batter, I can't reach it. I've only got little arms.
Michaela's hitting's definitely improved a lot this season after she's come back from college. I've really noticed that she's really well disciplined. She's got a good swing on her, so yeah. Up
the handle a fair bit here for that extra control. Watches one, so make it 3 strikeouts from the last 4 batters from Cordell.
That's that low and inside pitch that Taylor throws, and she throws it a lot, and it's really effective. She hits that really good spot, and that's going to be really key for her to have success against the Hills tonight.
Chloe Zachary. Was she the batter or was she the winning run on Saturday? She might have been the batter in the box, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
She was. During a chaos at bat.
Yep. Yeah, and then to win off a wild pitch, tough for the Tigers, wasn't it? Because they really showed something the back half of the year.
I mean, the Tigers only allowed 4 hits in that game, and they allowed, 6 runs?
Well, one of them was a moonshot from Bastion.
Just don't let Hills get on base, right? They find ways to generate runs. They put pressure on you. The Congo line has continued, though, in the Hills dugout. They had 4 different levels of stools in that game last week. Different people playing the drums, different roles.
Right, okay, I see what you mean. It sounds like we're at the home of the Seminoles, the Florida State, with that.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe we'll get a shot of that. Who knows?
Steph not impressed. Wasn't a Cal Bears reference.
Is that the chop? Is that what it
is? We played Florida State once. And we went into the last inning losing 6-0, and then we ended up winning 7-6.
There they are.
That's my one game.
How about that? The Monica Perry, Florida State. We talked about missed opportunities with that perhaps potential catch with that bunt earlier in the game. Jessie Warren was a Florida State player, took a great catch. This one's popped up in no man's land, but Sophie King backing back takes a great catch. As I don't get to finish my Jessie Warren story, I think it's a.
Well, you can.
I think it's a Sports Centre play of the decade or something like that. It's so good. Look it up, Jessie Warren, Florida State catch, double play, World Champion, Women's College World Series. Sophie King up to the challenge there. I'll stop talking and allow my 2 guest commentators to talk us through the carve eyewear replay.
I was just going to say, I really love, obviously it didn't pay off for her there, it almost dropped in, but I like Zach Lynch's approach of just a short little contact swing to the ball. She didn't try and overdo it. She managed to get bat on ball and into the field, and especially in that 9 hole, that 7, 8, 9 spot in the lineup, as you like to say, Eric, is really, really important to be able to turn the lineup again to bring up your Abby Bastions, your Charismas, your Marek with runners on base.
Was the furthest hit ball of the game so far for Hills. Just
yeah, it was actually.
Literally barely leaving the infield.
We see Michaela out there warming up again. I think the big question for me with a 2-1 lead is how long is that leash? How long is that leash, James, on Michaela? You know she had a massive 8 innings on Saturday. We don't know the status of Harvey. We know she was out unwell on Saturday. We're presuming that she's all good and ready to go. But you know that Walkerville, you don't score many runs against Walkerville.
I don't know, but as a softball observer, I'm going to say 3 for Yankovic, 4 for Harvey, unless she gets a touch-up this inning.
Talking about innings there?
Yeah.
Or 2 times.
So we're up to 7, 8, 9. If she can get through 7, 8, 9 here, start the next inning, and then from there, I think that leaves Titans. The key thing for me, you've got Robinson in that 1 hole and Ava in the 3 hole. You need to be able to shut down at least one of them as she hits the first batter on the
goal.
Foot. Just got away from her there, didn't it?
That's the exact words I was about to use. That one got away from her as Steph Goal. 1 pitch, hit by pitch. It was not leg before wicket. She'll go up the line and lead off on for Walkerville. Very important to get the lead off on, Steph. Never walk the lead off.
Looked like she got a bit sniped there. She genuinely tried to get out of the way. Sometimes you see people take that pitch, get on base, but I think she just lost her feet there.
Someone said to me today, it's a sign of intelligence to try to avoid being hit by pitch. That's out of the box.
Her foot, absolutely. I saw that.
Oh, as it's popped up, she's going to get thrown out anyway. Then she touches the white base. Bailey Mayer just having a nightmare of an at-bat there as she
Watch
does
that back
effectively.
foot as she touches.
She does effectively move the base runner, though, as it's out of reach for Bergeson. Yankovic has to do the fielding, and very well done to make that play as goal advances to 2.
You all right, Steph? I do like my 7, 8, 9 hitters, and Kelly Bested's a sneaky 9 hitter here. I mean, she had 267 on the year, but she had a killer year in B grade this year. She was in the top 10 in voting, and obviously had some pretty consistent contributions to the A grade side, hitting 267. Runner in scoring position. Move her over for Chelsea Robinson, or have a base hit as well. I mean, I think she's as good a candidate as anybody to have an impact on this game.
There's not many teams in the league that would leave out a 276 hitter. So Bested probably having her best Premier League season. Not probably. Definitely having her best Premier League season this year. Yankovic ahead of the count.
Yankovic will know that this is a really key at-bat here to turn over the lineups. She got straight ahead of the count, 0-2, and threw a perfect 0-2 pitch. When you're in this position, you don't want to throw pitches that are waste pitches that are really far away from the count. You actually want to throw a pitch that just like that, everyone looks at and thinks it's a strike, but the umpire doesn't. And that was perfect pitch for that scenario. She wants to live right there. And she did. That's another fantastic 0-2 pitch. I think too often you see pitches go into that 0-2 count, and then they throw a ball that's like not even close.
This has become a really good battle because that's 2 really good pitches, but 2 really good leaves as well.
Yeah.
Gets out this time. So great comeback from Yankovic to get the next 2 batters doing the fielding from the Mayer bunt, and then the strikeout to go 2 out with a runner on 2. But here comes trouble, the 500 hitter, Chelsea Robinson.
How fine are you going with Chelsea?
Yeah, if you fall behind, I would walk her.
It's so dangerous, though, right? Like, Aaron Stone is still a pretty good hitter, and then Lizzie Avery's right behind there. Like, you're just playing with fire if you got to be fine, though.
I think in this scenario, if I was pitching, I would be living those corners so hard that if I walk her, that's actually okay. I would rather walk her and miss a pitch out than leave something of the plate like that. That's a great pitch there, Michaela, to hit that spot in that count. A walk is not the end of the world here. A pitch that's left over the plate, that's more of an issue to me. Because also, if you walk her, you've got Aaron Stone up to bat. You've got now a force at 2 and a force at 3.
Robinson will go 1-2. Chelsea Robinson had 5 hits with runners in scoring position on the season. She's got 7 RBIs. Fallen behind in the count, Steph. That theory's probably gone now, but some coaches wouldn't have risked it. They would have risked the 500 hitter, and they would have gone to Aaron Stone, who's no slouch. But, pick your poison, right? Robinson.
I mean, Chelsea, to make this harder, like, Chelsea Robinson has struck out 4 times this season.
Yeah. Gets the ball in play.
Michaela throwing really well, but also, by the looks of it, Georgia's doing a very good job calling to her as well. Potentially knowing that Chelsea struggled with that low and away pitch on the weekend. Calling it again, just absolutely living there, does not want to give anything over the plate.
This one's high and into foul territory.
Got her to chase, though.
Yeah, protecting the zone now, Chelsea Robinson. So she's really opened up that hitting zone now, which means, well, it's good for her that she's able to protect. But now Michaela Robinson, who's still ahead of the count, can throw one wild. Maybe try and get her to chase. Something off speed, maybe. That one's low in the ground, and Bergeson, quick, smart like a cat at third base. She was the Team of the Year third base Charisma Bergensen fires that one across to Jemson for the third out, retiring the threat.
It was a fun battle.
That was great pitching by Michaela. You can see Georgia was ready to block that. Chelsea really dug it out of the ground, but just kept the ball off the plate, hit really good spots.
It's sort of what you were saying, James, right? Like she went up, Chelsea protected the zone, and then she threw one low, and there wasn't really anything she could do with it.
You get lucky sometimes, Eric, and other times it's just experience.
Can we confirm that first base is pink?
Kevin Tannebring got here after the Sapsaza and said, "I've got paint. Do you want me to paint the base?" And I'm thinking, he's talking white. Surely he's talking white.
It was a pink.
I think it looks great.
Umpires tonight, Jason Irvine behind the plate, Nikki Wong at first and Toby Sadler on third. Great season for the umpires as well, because you've got two umpires out there that have recently got their level 5s, and all of them, all three of them, technically imports, aren't they? They've come from interstate because the grass is greener over here in the great state of South Australia.
Can confirm.
And having a good game so far, the Blues. Walkerville's had 10 batters in this 2 innings so far. Hills Heat, 9. Abby Bashan will be their 10th, and they lead 2-1. We spoke about a leash for Yankovic. Is there a leash for Caudle? If she gives up 4, would they be tempted to go to Avery? Something to think about as Abby Bastion smoked one her first turn up to bat. Any thoughts? I saw you both think.
I guess it would be completely dependent on the how those runs are scored as well, right?
I agree. However, Walkerville walk away from it with a win tonight. Then Taylor's got 21 innings to pitch in a 7-8 day period. So it might not be the worst decision to bring Avery in if either Walkerville can get a jump, if they can get maybe a 2-3 run lead, or if Hills do get out in front.
You're doing that at a national championship, though, like 30 innings in a week. Hard hit shot to the opposite side. Kelly bested underneath it, taking the good catch, but great contact
she's
from Bastion.
Finally out, Abby Bastion. First time in the finals.
And she's still got plenty of it. Just a little underneath it. She watched it pop up to the right side.
I mean, why do you bring over an import like Taylor Caudle?
To pitch.
Right? Like, I think unless it's a disaster, then Caudle's, this is just her game. Like, it's her finals. It's her circle on Walkerville.
Well, why do you bring in Lizzie then?
Hit. She's 10. She's
yeah, fair.
They haven't lost with her in the lineup in the regular season, and she's 10 for 17. And I guess an insurance policy, right? You bring in a bat that has someone with a bit of a...
My mail is that Walkerville was the second option.
I mean, she has... Lizzie...
I did hear that on the grapevine.
Lizzie hasn't allowed a run, though. That's another, to your point, James.
13 innings for 25 strikeouts.
Yeah.
0 earned runs.
Like I'm saying. I don't just make it up.
Yeah.
Strikeout swinging. Taylor Caudle, strikeout number 4.
That's crazy. They got 2 weapons.
If Walkerville can get a jump, I would be bringing in Lizzie just to have her primed for the final, just in case.
I like it.
Yeah. But also to give Taylor that reprieve as well.
Rizzle.
There's that low inside pitch that it just kind of like screws a little bit. I don't know what it is, but it's so effective. Really hard to hit.
She's playing for Strathalbyn in the Hills on a Friday.
Charisma Bergeson is?
Playing for the Hills Heat on a Wednesday and a Saturday in the Premier League. And then she's playing for Adelaide Angels in the Women's Baseball League.
Is she
just
now?
keeping herself semi-busy.
Yeah, Adelaide just lost in the grand final game.
Just 4 days a week, throwing a training here or there.
Coaching.
Team of the year, third base. She was very close to Maddie Cameron in the race for the Mel McGee Hitting Award.
I thought you were going to say she was very close to hitting that ball.
It wasn't close to that one.
That was a big swing.
That was a huge swing, wasn't it? She doesn't swing soft, that's for sure.
She swings with intent.
What the hitting coach at my college was actually...
and then buckled
as
it.
she watches that one for strike 3. The hitting coach from my school and college was actually Charisma's head coach in college.
Really?
Yep.
Small world, this softball world.
Mm-hmm.
Back-to-back strikeouts make it 5 strikeouts for the game for Taylor Caudle from the 12 batters to the plate. After giving up 2 hits, very similar to Saturday against West Torrens, gave up a couple of hits early and then...
Here we go.
We're looking like Coach Fairley's making the change as we see Michaela walking back into the dugout.
For the 2-3-4 part in the lineup. You kind of figured the number would be 2. Now, what 2 that would be, I didn't really know. It would be 2 innings, and then you hand it over and go from there 2 times through the lineup and make the change. But now it'll be Sarah Harvey's game.
After Robinson came to the plate, and then she got her, I would have thought one more, and then give Harvey the bottom half of the lineup.
However, I do like making positive pitching changes, and Michaela's able to come out of that knowing that she did really, really well.
So Gillian Williams, we sit in the Gillian Williams Pavilion, has just let us know the changes. It is reverting back to the starting lineup. So Michaela Yankovic returns to DP and Sarah Harvey returns to pitcher.
And this is where you can see that flex DP OPO rule. These two can keep going back and forth all game. Michaela can come back in. Harvey can come back in. You can go back and forth. And I think that's something, having 2 really good hitting pitchers gives you the flexibility to do that, which you might not always be able to do.
Does it allow you then to just make decisions based on lineup, right? Like maybe Reg thinks that Sarah just matches up better against Aaron Stone, Lizzie Avery, Kira Larson, that kind of meat of the lineup, and you could see a flip-flop based on that. I mean, obviously, if you get in a groove, you get in a groove.
To that point, Lizzie Avery, line drive to 6, Larson, double, RBI double to left field.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then Sophie King smoked one to shortstop as well. So, matchups, potentially, probably, possibly.
Matchups matter. Reg is thinking this out.
Aaron Stone will lead off the 3rd inning and face Sarah Harvey for the first time, and probably on cue, watches the first one. She'll have that lead-off role and responsibility to make her throw a half a dozen pitches in this at-bat.
Just signed in Spain, Sarah Harvey.
Is that right?
Worst places to go, I think.
Yeah. My first European Cup I played against Tenerife. Didn't even know it was a place. And they were the Spanish representatives. Fouls this one off. I later played with a guy from that team with my home club from the Netherlands, Amstelveen, Juan Carlos.
It's a very Spanish name.
Oh, yeah.
If you were to give me one guess about what his name possibly could be, Juan Carlos might have been one of the first.
Oh, great shot to the right side. There was a potential play as Lara Tamke hit that hard, and Great shot, great lead off Erin Stone. For the third inning in a row, Walkerville with their lead off. Sorry, Steph.
Just kind of throws her hand at the ball, doesn't try and overdo it. Harvey's got good pace. She hit a good spot too, so she didn't try and overswing it. Erin made a really good contact, hit that ball real hard.
Let's watch closely in this battle. Eye-watering, mouth-watering. Mixed metaphor there as Avery shows bunt. Pulls out for a called strike. How's Erin Stone's game so far? Sacrifice bunt advancing Chelsea Robinson, who then later scored. And then a lead-off single here in the third.
Typical Erin Stone stat line. It's cool. It's cool looking at the Walkerville stats, right? Did the camera guy catch that?
No, I think there's a young boy out there made a pretty good catch, I think. Looks pretty happy with himself too.
He's got 2 balls in his hand too.
He's a state rep. He's got the cap and the training T-shirt. I can see popping out that hoodie.
Or just a massive James Harris fan.
Little from column A, little from column B as Avery smashes another one foul.
It's the biggest cheer of the game.
You'll notice Avery sits right at the back of the box and starts almost with a bit of a stagger stance. It looks like she's really tracking that ball late as well.
Well, we know she's not bunting 0-2.
Just lined up for an adjustment swing there.
Great pitch. Great leave.
That was a great pitch. That one probably, I think, behind the plate, Jason's had a really good game.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually called really, really well all game. That one was that would have been a tough one to call.
1-2. Stone still on 1.
Lizzie Avery, when she signed here, was a bit of a mind warp for me because she played at Boston University, but she's not the first import Lizzie Avery to be playing Adelaide sport.
What?
A few years ago, there was a Lizzie Avery who played college hockey at Boston University and played for the Adelaide Rush and dominated in the Women's Hockey League.
Does she know this? Oh, great. Another great pitch. Just peppering the edges here at the moment, Harvey, but Avery able to leave 3 consecutive pitches for balls.
They're about 6 years age and difference, so they were not at school at the same time.
Have you spoken to her about it?
I spoke to the hockey Lizzie Avery. Spell their name slightly different.
Great battle, and Lizzie Avery wins that one, but Sarah Harvey, that was brilliant pitching. Just didn't give her anything to foul off. She was 0-2 for 4 pitches, or she went to 0-2 in 4 pitches with a couple of fouls, and then watched 4 consecutive pitches that brushed past the outside edge.
But they're playing with fire now, right? Now Kiera Larson comes up to bat, and she's sneaky, right? Like, she played college softball, obviously took a couple years off before coming to South Australia, but she's been involved in diamond sports. She worked for the Toronto Blue Jays for a while in player development and is now at Sassy doing her PhD in skills acquisition. So Kiera Larson obviously had that double and drove in a run to put Walkerville on the board. Now it becomes...
Yeah, it's a bunt situation. This is... Look, let's not forget the team that is batting at the moment is Walkerville. Now, you ask our man Anthony, right, who did a bit of a, apprenticeship in the school of Linda Martin. This is bunt situation every day of the week. And here you have a player that blasted one into orbit in the first inning and scored Walkerville's first run.
I'm not from that school. I went to a different university. If you have one of your best players who can swing the bat, you let him swing.
Well, I remember when Anthony first commentated with us and Maddie Cameron was in that situation, and I said, there is no chance Maddie Cameron is bunting. Bang! Home run. Okay.
I think the advantage you have here with Avery and Stone on base is they're both quick. So in terms of the risk of not bunting and hitting into a double play or anything, you know that you've got speed on the bases, so that probably gives you...
Hard hit shot up the middle. That answers our question. It gets away from Marriage. Oh, Erin Stone got held up and then waved home. Run scores. Avery, hands on heads as Larson stands up at 2 for a second consecutive time. She's got 2 RBIs.
Good thing she didn't bunt.
Let's credit that a single, and then I think
it is.
Everything else is an error. Gee, she goes hard at these high balls.
Zoe Marriage bobbled the ball in center field.
Stone looks like she got held up because she had her head down, and it wasn't until she got a call that she had to turn around and score. Can't blame her that. It was going straight to centre field. RBI single to Larson as Sophie King fouls this one away.
First 3 have reached since the pitching change. 1 run is scored and 2 in scoring position. It's a 2-2 game.
Oh, my score sheets are flying everywhere as the breeze picks up. I was just going to say that pitching change all of a sudden. Coming back to haunt the heat. As Harvey is yet to register an out, but she's pitched very well. Larson had to chase that one out of the zone.
Yeah, both of the hits she's had tonight have been, as we said, at the letters, so you know that she's swinging at that high pitch. And if she's going to swing at that high pitch, throw it even higher.
Swing and a miss downstairs to go 1-2. So this is where she's had a little bit of trouble. Closing out the batters, Sarah Harvey. 2 hits and a walk. King's hands just up the handle a little. High for a ball. King does well. The catcher King, 2 Kings there in the around the plate. Sophie King, Georgia King. Georgia King does well to stop that one from rattling against the back net. Allison poised on to Avery on 3. Swing and a miss. Sarah Harvey registers her first strikeout of the game.
I mean, regardless of what happens this inning, you got to give some credit to Walkerville here, kind of showing why they are the defending champions and the amount of experience they have in their lineup, right? They went down 2-0 early. There was an error in there, and they've responded by having in their first 2 1/3 innings, all 5 of their first 5 batters have reached. They've come back. They've scored a couple runs. They've put pressure on the base paths. Caudle's settled down nicely.
Just the change and the slight delay that we have in this game. It's a 7-inning game, so forget the clock. That's Casey Taylor coming in for a pinch run with 1 out. Larson is the designated player, so it's a substitution. No speed up. There's only 1 out anyway. Walkerville going for some wheels in the off chance that Georgia Mason can put one onto the grass. Two runners aboard here in the bottom of the 3rd. Home half of the 3rd inning. As that one bounces before King. Does well to block it.
King's really impressed me behind the plate this year. Like, she looks very natural blocking all those balls, especially, you know, Harvey throws that heavy drop. She throws a lot in the ground. Runners on 2 and 3 there. Absolutely important that she gets behind it. And she looks really natural with that ball in the dirt.
Mason, big swing. Top of the zone as she's gone that interesting top hand single batting glove look. It's if you go one glove, it's the bottom hand.
Yeah, it's a throwing hand. Mason did have that collision earlier this year. I don't know if that would have, probably not. She was at first base and had a runner running up the line and
might be a
sort
quirk.
Of clothesline. Yeah, I don't know.
All players have them, right?
I'm trying trying here.
Yeah.
Harvey behind the count 3-1. She doesn't, we've said before, she doesn't throw a lot of walks. For a 7 innings, she averages 1.4 a game. She's already thrown one. She falls behind 3-1, maybe just having a little bit of control. Hiccups.
Great at bat, Georgia Mason, base on ball, second of the inning for Harvey. As we mentioned before, Eric, only 14 walks on the season. She's thrown 2 in 5 batters.
And now the bases are loaded. 7, 8, 9 time here. Steph Gall, Haley Mayer. Unless there's a double play, both are going to get a crack at trying to put a number on the board for Walkerville. And Hills can't let a number get on the board, right? I mean, if they're going to win this game, I think everyone kind of thought the avenue was you win it low scoring and you win it tight, and teams just don't score runs against Walkerville. Probably the formula to beat Walkerville is what you saw on Saturday, right? Win 2-1, 1-0, keep them low scoring, have a clutch hit when your opportunity presents itself. Can't let multiple runs on the board here.
That's the template that Hills Heat tried tonight, scoring 2 from the first 2 batters. Or the first 2 batters scored. The 3 and 4 hitters had something to do with that as well. However, since then, it's been lights out from Caudle. Every batter retired since then. Make it 8 consecutive outs for Caudle, and Walkerville had the right to reply. They scored one themselves. They threatened in the second, and right here in the third, they're playing on their terms. Harvey even seems to have turned up the dial a little as she senses a moment in this game. 1 run already plated, loaded bases with only 1 out. She's just missing, isn't she? She's like, you mentioned control before, 2 walks in the inning, Steph, but there could have been 3 or 4 pitches in this inning that could have gone either way.
I think Walkerville is showing pretty good discipline, to be fair. There's been a few swung out rise balls, as we saw then, as Gill fouls that one off. Probably a good one to swing at on a 2-strike count. But Walkerville showed pretty good hitting discipline there.
As if we're sensing something as Goal puts this one to right field. A catch taken by spilt by Temke. 1 run will score. An overthrow. 2nd run will score. And the Hills Heat begin to unravel in the third. They've gone to their ace. They've given up 2 hits, 2 walks, and now a drop catch at right field. As they call timeout to have a moment, let's have a look at the Carve-Eyewear replay.
Good contact there by Gaul, and I think it would have been in a perfect world a great sack fly, and it looks like Tamke just came up wanting to make the play before she caught the ball, and that's all that was there.
So 2 errors in 1 play for Tamke, a drop catch, then a wild throw, 2 runs score. Walkerville out 4-2 now.
Yeah, now Haley Mayer misses Walkerville. Has a chance to do some damage. Haley Mayer, also the vice president of Walkerville Softball Club.
Haley is.
Is she really?
Just won an A-grade title at Valley View last week.
Playing coach.
She's also a handy pitcher. She hasn't had to. Has she thrown it all this year? 9 1/3 innings on the season.
And named just hours ago in the South Australian over 35 women's team. Lays down a bunt. Harvey just has a little bit of trouble getting a handle on that one. She beats it out. So another runner on board for the Cats. What an inning.
She's also got twins. Can we add that for Haley Mayer's resume.
She also kept her feet inside the box, it looked like that time, which was good for Haley. But it seems like potentially here, we talked about Walkerville having that experience and Hills just being a little bit younger. It feels like they're just unraveling a little bit. Could be the pressure of this game or the perceived pressure. Just playing uncharacteristically.
8th batter to the plate this inning. There is still only one out.
Well, 8 batters have been on base now today for Walkerville, and they're not even 2 times through the lineup.
Do you consider bringing Yankovic back in?
It's hard because it's not like Sarah Harvey. She's walked a couple batters, but there's nothing being hard hit. Like, the only thing you could really fault Harvey for is the walks, and even then they were just kind of long at bats. She wasn't missing by much, right? Like, but yeah, maybe just to change the energy again.
Yeah.
Well, Caudle took a moment to warm into this game. 4 batters, 5 batters before she started to assert her dominance. Harvey coming into the game with Walkerville dialed in.
The problem is Chelsea Robinson is, in all likelihood, unless something goes crazy here, is going to get an at-bat with numbers on the bases. Or numbers on the scoreboard.
Harvey just finds the bottom of the zone for her 2nd strikeout of the inning. Back to the top. Chelsea Robinson is batter number 9. As timeouts called, coach and captain are going to have a chat. Pitcher and catcher are going to have a chat.
This is such a well-rounded Walkerville team. I think the real emphasis is team, right? I mean, they didn't panic when they went down. A nice disciplined inning. You've used that a couple times, Steph. But if you take a look at their stats on the year, their RBI leader has 8 runs batted in across the team, right? There's no one that is in double digits or even 1 away from that. Everybody is just doing their job. 6, 7, 5, 4, 8, 7, 6. Like, everybody's just chipping in. Nobody's the superstar of the team. Maybe Chelsea Robinson might have something to say about that. But point is everybody in this lineup just sort of passes the baton, gets on base, gets moved around. And they don't really care how they score them as long as they score enough or at least one more than the other team.
Yeah, 84 runs for the season is only the 4th most in the league.
I just can't believe there's no one in double digits RBI.
I think when you've got your best hitter hitting in that leadoff position, she often comes to bat without the runners on base, right? You know the first at bat of the game, she's got no one on base.
She got 3 here.
Yeah, you're right.
Fouls this one off.
Hills have 4 players who would be the leader in the clubhouse for Walkerville in terms of runs batted in this year if they were on Walkerville. Tamke has 8, 16 for Bergeson, 15 for King, 11 for Harvey.
Which is interesting because Hills only have 87 runs for. So
it's a weird
theirs
distribution.
Is a little bit more
funnels through a couple players, Just how they're built, right? I mean, this is a pretty experienced team. There's no glaring holes in this Walkerville lineup, right? I mean, Kelly Bested, who was just up to bat, she hit 267 on the year. Georgia Mason with the lowest average, but we've seen what she can do, right? Big spot here, though. Needless to say, this is a must out for Hills. Cannot allow more runs.
Walkerville's highest scoring game of the year was the final minor round game of 10. Next best was 8, and they did that 3 times in the season. So they're not blowing teams away as in like just powering on the runs. Majority of their wins have come with low scores.
Good defense, good pitching, timely hitting. That's how they won a premiership last year.
So full count, 2 out, payoff pitcher with bases loaded.
Strikeout looking. Sarah Harvey throws 3 strikeouts in that inning where every batter plated for the Cats. They scored 3. They go ahead 4-2 after 3.
Why don't you take us through this one, Eric?
Let's see this. Let's see the replay. Pick a spot on the outside corner and let the softball gods do their work.
Look, if it's close enough to call,
yeah,
you got to swing at it, right?
Yeah, you have to. Especially, bases were loaded, right? I mean, Chelsea had been protecting the plate through their last 2 at-bats as well, so.
Yeah, you go back to just the second batter in that inning, Lizzie Avery, who was 0-2 after 4 pitches, fouled a couple off, and then watched 4 consecutive balls that 3 of them would have been closer than that one.
I mean, this is now where Walkerville suffocate you, right? And it starts with Taylor Cottle in the circle. They get a lead. They're up by 1 or 2. They don't win by much. But then Cottle just gets in a groove, and there's no base runners. There's not consecutive base runners. It's just suffocating. You're trying to grasp for air, and you get absolutely nothing. So they're going to need something that happened in the first inning to get back in this, right? The infield single, a bunt. They just need get them a base runner and let them see what they can create.
Well, Sarah Harvey's leading off, so she can do herself a favour by getting on here. So if you are a hitting pitcher, surely,
one word for it.
surely you don't necessarily feel the pressure that often when you're hitting for your team. Like, you do it for fun because your job's pitching, right? But right now, she's got to be desperate.
Yeah, I think right now it's probably important for her to realise that it's only the top of the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
We're playing 7 innings.
Fourth inning.
Fourth inning. Top of the 4th inning. We're playing 7 innings here. There's still a lot of game left. They don't need to score 2 runs in this inning, right? If I were the Heels, I'd be looking to scrap in 1 more run this inning, hold Walkerville, scrap in another run next inning.
I'll start with a base runner, right?
Yeah.
Just get on base.
Remember, they scored 2 runs in that first inning with a ball that didn't leave the infield.
Harvey watched the first one. It was a change-up. Perhaps the first of the game. I haven't seen every pitch. I've had my eyes down in the notes and writing the stats, etc. But, change-up first pitch and then fouls off the second one. Caudle ahead of the count versus Harvey.
Don't forget, Hills were down on 2 different occasions in their elimination final against Seacombe and found their way back in front on both of those times. So they don't have to go back too far in the memory bank to find some finals experience where you were down by just a run or 2.
Hard hit shot from Harvey on 0-2. Drills this to the left side into the karaoke. 8 consecutive batters retired for Caudle. She gives up a leadoff single.
Great hit there by Harvey. You can see that inside. It still looked like it was a really good inside corner. Maybe just it was that screw, that low rise that sat up a bit, or maybe that high rise. It looks like it should have been that high rise. It maybe on an 0-2 count just needed to be up above the letters there.
Georgia King was Caudle's first strikeout victim. Gets this one down. Was a fake bunt, fake slap bunt, and Taylor Caudle lost the face mask as she went to field the ball and then fumbled it, which is enough to get King to first and then Sarah Harvey to second. Let's have a look.
Looked like she intentionally pushed that bit of a long bunt straight back to the pitcher. And again, Taylor looked like she just went to throw it before she had it.
Well.
Lead off aboard.
Now you have to bunt.
Bunt goes down and things can happen when the ball's in play. Same play as a nice catch taken by Caudle. No one covering 2 as the pivot split to the corners.
I can hear Lee Hull loud and clear right now.
Repeat of earlier message. A lot going on with Jemson's hands then as Caudle takes a nice catch. What you might not have seen was that Erin Stone was ready on first for a potential double play. Caudle was watching the lead runner. 1 out. Runners at 1 and 2.
on a pitcher like Caudle, you know she's throwing that rise ball, right? When you're showing bunt, you have to be looking for the top of the ball.
And that's what Lee always said, right? Like, he never loved seeing... He wouldn't disagree with bunt in that situation, but he was always very cautious, to use a lack of a better word, of showing bunt and bunting on that first pitch, because a lot of times you see exactly that. That ball, you get under it, it pops up, and all of a sudden, you know, a double play could come into fruition.
However, have you ever stood in the batter's box with a Taylor Caudle rise ball coming at you? It's not that easy, okay? Understand it in principle.
Yeah. Bunt was the right play there, though. That's the difference with, you know, I mean...
Yeah, you just want to be looking at the top half of the ball.
Yeah.
There she is, Taylor Caudle. On screen, she just has a knack of shutting teams down. One mistake in this inning, and
she made up for it with a very athletic catch.
Great
though.
catch,
I'll give her that.
Yeah, runners still at 1 and 2. There's one out, a bit of a timeout from the Hills Heat to have a chat as Temke watches that one for a course right. Is that the second pitch or the first pitch of the at-bat?
Second, she swung at the first one.
0-2.
0-2 from Jason, I can see, behind the plate. Big deep breath there from Taylor. 0-2 count.
Nice pitch. Where's she going? Oh, just to share some intel with the on-deck batter. I thought she was going to the wrong dugout then for a second as Temke strikes out. That's 2 out. Courtesy runner 76, guys. Help a brother out. 76 is...
Not on my card.
75, Brianna Luxon. No. Harvey, there's 2 out. It's
Harvey's
not
going back.
It's not compulsory. She's getting an oven mitt.
Well, cool moment here for Michaela Yankovic against her.
Temke going back out there to run for her. So the pitcher, it's not compulsory, but for the hitter, it is. Every time I'm the pitcher, it's compulsory. That's what I say anyway.
Get me out of here.
Get me off the bases.
Scary out here.
Just likely to pull a hamstring, that's all. Michaela's the hitter here. She struck out looking her last at-bat.
Strike called down and in, Steph.
That's the one. That's a good pitch.
Just so hard to hit as well.
It is hard to hit.
Because you're trying to settle into the box. You get one that's going to cut your knees off and then it gets called. Oh, great shot. Sat back on the change-up. Temke's going to score. It goes under the glove. Georgia King's courtesy runner's going to score. Sky Volmard, Lara Temke, both cross the play. We've got a tied ball game.
Sat on that change-up perfectly. Middled it straight up the middle with 2 out. The runners are running on the hit. They're running on anything, and then just ran over by Hayley Mayer in centre field. Unfortunately, he's allowed that second run to score.
That must feel so good for Michaela against her former team as well.
And she's had, she's pitched so well those first 2 innings. She's come out of the game. She's had such a crucial at-bat.
And now it's tied.
Tied the game up. Oh, but she's not pitching, so she's got to run. Drats.
That could be a short-listed moment for the Easton play of the game. Obviously, there's still 3 and change innings to go in this one, but you're going to circle that one as a huge moment in this game.
That's Zackley. Pops up to the right side. Kelly Bested takes a good catch, and in 4 innings, the Hills Heat have scored more in this inning than the entire competition against Walkerville since Christmas.
I mean, mistakes are coming up big in this game.
Semi-final,
right?
Not included, of course. Sorry, keep going, Eric.
Just tiny little mistakes, right? That bobble in center field allowed the extra run to score. I mean, but that run was only on base because, you know, an uncharacteristic mistake from Taylor Caudle just losing the head mask and not gripping the ball. You think back to Tamke dropping the ball in right field that cost probably a run as well. In the first inning, there was a throwing error from Sophie King. I mean, this game feels even, right? It probably should be more like 2-2 rather than 4-4, but kind of shows, I mean, in finals softball or in softball in general, I mean, these little mistakes make huge differences.
It is even. I know what you mean, but the score also shows it.
Yeah.
4-4, we've got a tied game. It is the middle of the fourth, so we're at the halfway point of this game. Walkerville have the right of reply. They're the home team. They finished higher on the ladder in this game. They get the last chance. You know what those 2 runs do for Sarah Harvey is that they give her a fresh start. She can forget about what happened in that last inning where 9 batters came to the plate. And she gets to go head-to-head with Erin Stone, who started that rally off.
With that hit to right field, it's just like a do-over for her.
Yeah, literally.
Eric Bonner, Steph Trzynski, James Harris calling the action here. Preliminary final night. Softball SA Premier League, Ghanaland, March Madness. There's no 7'9" players out there, but it
charisma
is
comes pretty
not
close,
yet.
I think.
Yeah.
It's worth watching.
I don't know. It feels like half this team on the Hills are still growing, right? There's still time.
That's just a March Madness reference that I just made. There's some guy out of Quebec.
Yeah, Ryu.
Ryu, 7'9", playing college basketball.
Yeah, plays for Florida.
How high is the ring?
10 feet. He can literally just put his hands up and
That's crazy.
Just drops it in there.
A bit of March Madness at West Beach. Erin Stone has a hit against Sarah Harvey, has a sacrifice bunt as she puts this one to the right side, as well as that one's out of reach for Tamke.
I thought Tamke was going to get that, actually. She picked up good speed. Looked like she just lost her feet in the end.
How about the resiliency of Hills, though? They did this twice versus Seacombe, and now they've done it again versus Walkerville here.
Yeah, the fight. It's final softball, right? The game's never done.
Just Hills softball this year. They're just scrappy.
Ooh, rails the line. The last time you made that call, Eric, Belinda White was safe on first against Taylor Titsakronis charging down the line. It's gone fair.
That was a good accent.
Thanks, mate. It was still one of the best days of my life.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was the Stars' 66 years.
Yes,
Belinda White
yes.
it screwed off the end of the bat. Started about 3-foot fouls.
That was a crazy game.
A lot of lead changes in that one. I think it was 5-4.
A lot of crazy plays on both ends as well.
I'm sure either one of these teams wouldn't mind being on 5 at the moment. There's Lizzie Avery.
Well, let's circle back. It was 4-2, remember. I mean, Chelsea Robinson was up to bat with 2 outs and the bases loaded and went down on strikes. Sarah Harvey won that battle. I mean, this could have... I mean, it's 4-4 now, but there was a window there, and it was kind of looking like Walkerville might be up by more than 2, right? That was that you might have to circle as an Easton play of the game if Hills do come back and win this game, is a huge strikeout with bases loaded against the top batter on the opposition.
Well, not only did she throw the strikeout, then she was lead off of the next inning and started the rally for the Hills heat with a hit up the middle.
I should say,
to the left side.
It was also bases loaded, 1 out, and she went strikeout, Bested and Robinson. That is looking huge right now. Stop the bleeding.
Can I just say, Lizzie Avery's eye might be the best I've seen. Like, she's just laying off these pitches that are buzzing the strike zone. And she got a couple of walks against the pitching champ for this year as well in the semi-final Saturday night.
I heard that. I think, like, when you've got such strong hitters like Chelsea and Lizzie.
Great spot. Sarah Harvey gets a little bit of redemption as she catches Lizzie Avery looking. And Eric, you got the stat sheet. Can you look that up for us? How many strikeouts has she given up this year, Lizzie Avery?
I think she got struck out looking on the same pitch also on Saturday. So she has a great eye, but also struck out.
4 strikeouts now for Harvey in this game. Lizzie Avery struck out 4 times in her 8 games this season. Chelsea Robinson was 4 times in 24 games, 69 plate appearances.
Unreal, right?
Struck out 4 times.
Let's have another look at it. Great pitch.
Great pitch, yeah. She didn't look very happy with that call, but I think Jason's done a really good job behind the plate all night.
Absolutely has. Thanks to Carve Eyewear for that replay. Sponsoring tonight's preliminary final, Sierra Larson is re-entered back into the game. Casey Taylor coming to pinch run for her in the last inning, and she has had a night. Double. RBI double in the first, RBI single in the second. This time she's up to bat with 2 out, no one on. Using the red rocket. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
I was trying to work out what that was before. Rocket Tech?
Rocket Tech. I'm going to suggest
got that one from the archives, I think.
American collegiate player's name on that one, I reckon. There's 3 bounces for Bastion, fires it across to Jemson for the 3rd out. A 1-2-3 inning. This game has now had it all.
Heels have just taken the momentum back there. Pretty well hard hit. Bastion does a really good job to secure it. You can see she took that extra half a millisecond, just to make sure, and absolutely fires the ball over to Jemson. Look at her with the low throw, but on the money.
And it sets it up well. I mean, Hills now have their top of the lineup coming through. Bastion, Marich, and then you go Bergeson, Harvey. This is the meat of the order. And the Hills might not have too many more cracks with this sort of formation. In fact, they probably won't, right? I mean, it's the 5th inning. Mathematically, Cottle could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then all of a sudden they don't get another turn at bat. But what a game this has been. Hills scored 2 in the first, 2 in the 4th, with 4 runs from Walkerville sandwiched in the middle of those runs. A few runs scored on errors, but big hits in this game. Sarah Harvey, a couple base knocks, big RBI from Michaela Yankovic to tie the game. Kira Larson, who is just out, she's accounted for 3 of the runs for Walkerville so far. It's been a game defined by little mistakes and big moments. Now they're going to keep Cottle in there. Like you said, James, Lizzie Avery has to be a consideration at some point, but it's still tie game. It's a good one. We've had, we're 3 for 3 in terms of finals games delivering, I suppose. Three one-run games to start. 2 one-run games to start the finals campaign. This one could be the 3rd one. Now Abby Bastion, who already has a hit and scored in this game, has a chance to start Hills off strong in the 5th. If you're just joining us, this is around the time where we would call the game. No new innings after 85 minutes. We played 83, but in the finals, you play 7. Run rules do come into effect, but we're certainly not in danger of that at the moment. Hard to be when the scoreline is tied. Now Abby Bastion cracks one through the gap. That drops in off the wall, and Abby Bastion continues her torrid start, and she's thinking 3. She's going 3. She slides in, and she is out.
Safe.
No, safe. Called safe. It was not. Wow, tough to see down the line. I completely blocked, but now Abby Bastion has a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in her finals campaign, and she is on fire.
Great call, Eric. Haley Mayer picks it up from the fence. We'll see it on the Carve Eyewear replay. Great throw from Sophie King. She's safe as Avery tries to make the tag. It was a great call from Nikki Wong.
Hard to see on that angle there, but that other angle, you can absolutely see that she was safe. Great call there by Nikki Wong.
Unbelievable call. It's hard. She's blocked where I am, and then all of a sudden, you had Reg that was just jumping up the alley.
Yep.
Yeah, she's safe.
It's definitely in. It's a real close play, though. I can understand why Avery's not happy, but she definitely was safe.
Bastion smoked that.
Oh, she can play.
Zoe Marich.
Well, Zoe Marich had the Easton play of the game in the elimination final on Saturday. She had a runner. It was actually Abby Bastion on base. Her team was down a run in the penultimate inning, rather. And Marich, with 2 outs, delivered a base hit to tie the game. Can she do it again here? Well, she can't, but she could give them the lead.
Gets the bunt down. Avery's coming. It's not a squeeze. She fires it across to third, and Bastion hustles back safely, but
2 cracks at it with Charisma Bergeson and Sarah Harvey.
Avery played that so well, picked that up, and made an absolute rocket of a throw there.
Great
and
play.
On the money, too. That was a fantastic play, wasn't it? Abby did well not to get caught in no man's land there as well. So Charisma on the night has a sack bunt and a strikeout. She'll be one to score the run here for her team, especially after hitting 500 for the regular season.
Oh, its shot is high in the air. Kelly Bestard's running in. Erin Stone called her out, but she was turned inside out. Abby Bastion's going to score on the single.
Maybe we can see here in the replay, it almost looked like it was supposed to be a pitch out too. You see Chelsea get up really early, but that ball went as high as you could see it.
Well, she was hoping for high and deep, right, for the sac fly. I mean, that's a bonus. She's on base. That's a mistake, though, from Walkerville.
Well, let's count it an RBI single to second, but that looked like it was deep right field off the bat. Abby Bastion scores and brings up Sarah Harvey. This comeback pitch from Caudle, and Hills Heat take the lead. Trailing by 2 with all the momentum going the Cats' way. They found a way. It started with this player right here in the top of the 4th.
Seeing the ball well, her first at bat, she had a hit to shortstop, as that one's called a strike, and Hills Heat didn't like that.
Entering today, James, in the 9 games since Christmas, Walkerville had allowed a combined 5 runs, including finals. It's now 10.
0-2 count there. You see Chelsea signalling to... Oh, that is a close ball.
Well, what did you say before, Eric? Big game Bastion?
Big game Bastion.
Has done
ridiculous.
It again.
She's
scored
ridiculous.
Twice in this game. She has 2 hits, and the one time she got out, it was a deep fly ball to right field.
She scored 4 times in the final. She's been on base 6 times.
There it is. He's calling that strike. Probably started a little bit tighter as when the game started, but he's definitely sort of grown that zone a little bit as the game's going on. I think relatively even for both teams. He's calling that a strike. Again, if it's close enough to call, close enough to swing.
Sarah Harvey was saying something under the breath on the way back. Caudle now up to 7 strikeouts. Oh, King has not held back off Caudle in this game so far, and she tips this one. It goes foul, but she's not too far off. Bunted to reach safely last at bat. That awkward one where Caudle seemed to slip as she fielded it up on the letters. And
it's a great leave there by King. Great pitch also by Taylor.
technically, no, they are teammates from the 23 National Championship winning team. Taylor Cordell was the battery coach, and Georgia King, one of the catchers in that team. Maybe showed some of her wisdom that she's got there in the back pocket, King, as she has not changed her swing. She's going hard, all in with her swings, Georgia King. Ferguson on one. Outside edge, and Robinson has a look. 2-2, 2 out. Top 5, and the Hills Heat have a 1-run lead against the Walkerville Cats.
And they've scored the last 3.
Scored the first 2 and the last 3. Hills Heat games in this final series have shifted momentum one way to another in a tug of war. They've just battled, and when they've been down, they've had that fight. They've been able to get back on top. A plucky team made up of mostly teenagers. From up the freeway. Noses in front. Strikeout looking. Cordell strikes out the last 2. She goes to 8 strikeouts in the game. And one of us, Eric, in the commentary box, probably thought that was a little high.
Wouldn't have been the pitcher. Oh. I always think it's a strike.
Well, now we get to see the resolve of Walkerville again.
Well, they never stop, do they? They don't quit. Walkerville's reputation of the last decade or so is they don't know how to quit.
Yeah, and it's a core that's won a lot of championships, right? I mean, in the last 10 years, they've, won 3, including the defending champion.
Schneider, Dressick, Cordell, all with premierships.
Yeah, and then that same foundation of your Robinson, King, and then you have that new wave that comes through, whether it be through Georgia Mason. And yeah, this is a team with championship DNA, right? And this seems like the perfect woman to lead things. Speaking of legends,
championship DNA. What was it, 10 in 14 years with the Cats dynasty?
Yeah, Linda Martin, and but I mean, having Sophie King lead off a very pivotal inning, you feel like, for Walkerville, feels fitting.
Right now, cometh the time or the moment. Cometh the big game play. I mentioned it before. She's been a player of the final.
Big inning here, bottom of the 5th, when we're up to 6, 7, 8 for Walkerville. They can get out of this one cleanly, then you assume that you're only going to have to pitch to, Chelsea one more time if they can get through this inning cleanly. 9 more outs.
Yeah, if it gets to Chelsea this inning, there's a problem.
One bounce straight back to the glove of Sarah Harvey. It was hit firm.
That was a pretty nonchalant as she the straight back at her. Sophie King hit it hard, straight into the ground. You see she has a look at it, signs to see. Did you miss that?
Literally.
Yeah.
She said hello to the ball. Yeah. Like, she's like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
She definitely looks a lot more relaxed after her start. She think, especially coming in, having such a great at-bat, she's settled in a little bit more. Well, throwing good pitches.
Her start was... Here's a look at the replay again. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that start, right? 6 of her first 7 batters she faced reached, and the first 3 scored. It was 1 out with bases loaded, and her team was down 4-2 after leading 2-1. And since then, she went strikeout with bases loaded, 1, 2, 3 inning in the fourth, and gets that nonchalant leadoff hitter. I mean, that is a dramatic shift in terms of the way the scores have been entered in this little log of ours.
6 out of 7 reach and then retired the next 6.
Including 2 with bases loaded.
She definitely looks a lot more settled. She looks like she's got a little bit of swagger back in her out there too, you know? Like, she looks ice cold.
Well, we mentioned it, didn't we? It's a fresh start. It's a new start. It's a 0-0 ball game, and now all of a sudden she's got a 1-run lead.
Right where she started, with a 1-run lead.
What a funny game this is that we play and love. Bit of movement there in the Hills bench.
Is that Michaela up again?
No, it looks like we've just got some overhand throwing, fielding action going on. Making sure everyone's warm, ready to go at all times.
Yep, cool changes come through. There's a bit of breeze around, so the players wanting to get moving just in case they're called upon as Georgia Mason fouls one off. Sarah Harvey had a nightmare start. 9 batters faced in her first inning, 3 in her second inning, and she's retired the first 2 in her third inning.
With 5 strikeouts.
Steph Gold hit by pitch. First pitch she faced, and then reached on a muffed fly to right field that caused chaos. And 2 runs scored the last time Steph Gall was in the box. The last time Walkerville scored. Got a special guest, just photo bombing in the background there. Reagan Diaz.
She wants a good look there, I can see, right behind home plate.
There she is on screen.
Maybe we'll get her to wave at the camera.
3 seasons in the Premier League, 3-time Team of the Year. Hardy shot to the right side. Tamke has to back. She takes this one. Well, I spoke redemption before. Tamke gets her moment. Backs back, tracks it well.
She made that look easy, really, didn't she? But she read that off the bat so well. She's had a lot of work out there, Tamke, and she's had a really good season all year out in right field for the Hills Heat.
Where'd she go? Should have grabbed her for a chat on the mic. All good. Well done to Reagan Diaz. 3 times in Team of the Year. That's the point I was making. As she was just photobombing there in the background as Lyra Tamke retires Walkerville's 5th inning, and Sarah Harvey 8 consecutive retired batters, including 5 strikeouts. You mentioned that, Eric. We are through 5. We are 2 hours and an hour and 37 minutes into this game. We do not have to worry about the clock. Perhaps if we get to 10:30, we might need to worry about the lights. But
I think the key thing for Hills there is they got through 5, 6, 7 there, 1, 2, 3. So now going into the 6th inning, they're 8-9-1. If they can get 8-9 out with Chelsea up to bat with 2 out, that takes the pressure off. Maybe Chelsea gets on, maybe they get another out, and then Lizzie starts the 7th inning. So they're your key hitters coming up without runners on base is key for Hills. Now, Walkerville are in almost the exact same position here, where they're up to 6, 7, 8 in their lineup. But it's now the top of the 6, so they'll be wanting to get 1, 2, 3 out. Hope they can catch a cheap out before Abby Bastion comes up to bat again in the last inning.
The difference, though, Eric, for the 2 teams, 7, 8, 9, get it done, as the great man once said, once or 25 times. Hills have just one hit, and that was a smoked shot from Michaela Yankovic, whereas Goal and Mayer have caused a bit of chaos in the order for the Cats. So
Sky Vumard up to bat right now, by the way.
a pinch hit for Megan Jemson, who was due up. Vumard came in as a courtesy runner last inning, fourth inning, and scored on behalf of Georgia King. Already been involved in the game, so that adrenaline is probably pumping.
They look pretty relaxed, though. There's a good shot there of Reg and Sky talking just before that at-bat. That whole Hills team, kind of throughout the whole game, has never really seemed too bothered. Going against a pitcher that's been on she strikes out here, but going against a pitcher that has been on a Team of the Year twice, won a Cath Coral, and going against the defending champions and in your first finals. No worries.
Yep. Yeah, they're taking it in their stride. So that's a sign that they're well coached. 9 strikeouts for Caudle, 3 consecutive strikeouts looking.
Yeah, that one was in 3 pitches too, so Taylor's not... And that was the exact same pitch. I think the last 3 pitches in a row have been the same pitch. So she's not wasting any time.
Well, you mentioned 21 innings in 8 days to win a final, or to make the final, and she wants to get that pitch count down, doesn't she? I think
she'll be, especially in that lower half of the lineup. She's just wanting to attack these hitters right away. She doesn't want to give up a walk or give up a rogue base runner and turn the lineup around. She's attacking at this point in the lineup. And she's 0-2 again. For another 3-pitch strikeout.
6 pitches, 2 outs.
Oh, I'm going to let you call this then, Eric.
You can't say it.
I didn't say anything. I just said there's been 6 pitches and 2 outs. I didn't literally.
Well, Michaela Yankovic might have something to say about that. She came up with that clutch hit up the middle her last at-bat. No base runners on this time, but she'll be looking to draw some more pitches. I doubt she'll get a change-up too.
4 strikeouts in her. I didn't say anything.
I'll let Taylor know that. She throws her first ball of the inning.
She does. 4 straight strikeouts, though, since Bergeson reached on that sort of misplay.
Caudle absolutely hammering that one spot, isn't she? That it's like a low-rise screwball situation, and she's just absolutely hammered it. How would you adjust as a hitter there, James?
Open up and smash it deep left field.
It's easy.
And again, that one's she's just climbed the ladder there, hasn't she? So the next one, if it's there again, should be out of the zone. Maybe.
Man, Michaela's had a good game today, hasn't she? Huge hit, obviously, to tie the game. It was 4-2 when she came up to bat last, tied the game. Another good at-bat here. Opened the game in the circle, had a couple strikeouts, and left just 1 run on the board, minimized some damage.
Still throwing a lot of ball around the zone here. It's like a dogfight out there for the foul ball.
They have to give back anyways. Yep. No, these ain't yours to keep. Making her work.
She's just doing her best to kill those pitches and stay alive, and hoping that Taylor makes a mistake, I suppose. Still no change-ups, though. She's seen a lot of pitches this at bat already. Ooh, that was a bit close, wasn't it? I don't think she wanted to put her kneecap in the way of that.
Ground ball to second. Stone waits for it and in time for the third out. So a 3 up, 3 down inning, 5 consecutive retired, but that breaks the run of 4 strikeouts in a row for Taylor Caudle. Middle of the 6th inning, Hills Heat lead it 5-4.
Well, this is the opportunity right here. 1 of 8 or 9, gotta get on. Let Chelsea Robinson, Aaron Stone, Lizzie Avery, and co. go to work here to try to potentially put Walkerville up and then them 3 outs away from advancing to the grand final. And as you pointed out, Steph Trzynski, big opportunity for Sarah Harvey to continue doing exactly what she's been doing. She's retired her last 8. If she can get these first 2, man, does that ever do a lot in terms of mitigating risk in a pretty dangerous Walkerville lineup. So, yeah, these first 2 batters, absolutely critical.
Now, it's finals around the state. Some competitions are done. The Adelaide Club competition this weekend, grand final Saturday. West Torrens await the winner of this game in the Premier League. In the B grade, Sturt play Walkerville. In the C grade, Sturt play Sturt. In the D grade, Sturt play Walkerville. And in the E grade, Walkerville play Seacombe. Under 18s, Hills play Seacombe. Under 16s, Seacombe, West Torrens. Under 14s, there's 2 divisions. Hills Heat plays Seacombe, and then Seacombe play West Torrens.
Seacombe.
There's a lot of Seacombe in those junior grades.
Well, Seacombe are going to win the Junior Club of the Year. It's no secret. They are way ahead on points to where everyone else, and Sturt will win the Senior Club of the Year. As Hayley Mayer looks her shape bunt. Under 12's the final grade. Sturt versus Seacombe.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
So, kicking off from 11 a.m. this Saturday, the Adelaide Club Competition Finals. Running all the way till 7 p.m. start time for the Premier League right here on Spacequake Sports. The Scoots Cafe Grand Final. Chopper to shortstop. Bastions inside the line and throws out Mayer by a couple of steps, and the Hills Heat get the first out. They are really...
She's really using that box, isn't she? Good composure there from Abby. She sort of had to wait for the ball to come into her glove. Make a good throw. She was pretty close to that first baseman.
Timeout called. Coach Stanfield, the coach of the year last year, the premiership winning coach, ringing the changes.
Aaron Reed's going to get an at-bat here.
Bit of a veteran, Erin Reid. She's been there and done it with Walkerville, a B-grade player, probably majority of the time, but always constantly finds herself in this A-grade Walkerville team. Has been part of the success over the years, and not a bad player to go to from your list on the bench.
Played 15 games, obviously has that championship experience at 222 on the year. I think Bindi just needs a spark somewhere, right? Find a base runner for the top of the lineup.
Thanks to Carve Eyewear supporting tonight's preliminary final, and the player of the game will win a pair of Carve Sunnies and a $30 voucher to Sporties Bar, thanks to the Yarka Bar. And let's not forget the player of the game, powered by Eastern Australia, $100 voucher. Who's doing that on-field interview, Erin? Me? For those that don't have the ability to see us, none of you do, but let you know the secret, Eric just gave up that role immediately to me. So Eric and Steph will wrap up the game. I'll go on field, talk to our player, Carvo, player of the game, and play of the game powered by
There's some paperwork to sort out there. This is, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's too easy. This is a complicated one.
Yeah.
And there's still a result to come, right? I feel like both players are going to be decided in that 7th inning, right?
Might come down to it. Abby Bastions put her hand up for both play and player of the game. Bastion scored twice, took that screamer of a catch.
Sarah Harvey's now entering the chat too.
2 hits against Caudle. Taylor Caudle's in that chat. She has thrown 9 strikeouts.
And her earned runs wouldn't be a lot. There'd be a bit of red on there.
We mentioned Sarah Harvey, who had a nightmare inning, but then since then has been pretty much lights out, has been lights out.
What about Michaela Yankovic?
Erin Reed with a pinch hit base on balls, bringing up the top of the order. So just like that, perhaps a swing in momentum to bring up the number 8 for the Cats. Their captain, their leadoff, their Aussie Spirit player. 23 hits in the year, hitting 500, if you don't mind. And she's 1 for 3 so far in this game.
So she's due, and it's the first base runner since the 3rd inning. For Walkerville, that is.
When they played at 3 to take the lead 4-2. Big swing and a miss from Robinson.
It looked like Walkerville were going to run away with it when they had just scored 3 runs. It was the 3rd inning. They were down 2-0. They came back, scored 3 runs. We're up 4-2, had bases loaded and 1 out. And they didn't score anything.
Just off the end of the bat goes foul, and just like that, behind the count 0-2 with a runner on 1. Erin Reed reaches on a base on balls. Nice pitch, just missing the outside edge on the change of pace. Steph's back after a smoko. And that smelt delicious, by the way.
It's been a big day.
Reed poised on 1 as this one's hit up the middle. Bastion's a chance. Just past the reaching glove of Harvey. Might have even tipped the glove then. Past the reaching diving glove of Bastion. A single up the middle for Chelsea Robinson, who was due. And she keeps that 500 average intact. Wow, that buzzed.
They got both of their gloves.
2 gloves.
Potential winning run is aboard. And it's the 2-3-4.
Would you consider bunting here?
With one out, and there's Avery. Well, you're Avery, then Larson as well. So,
well, you've got Stone up to bat.
I think.
I don't know. Look, I don't love it because then you get 2 out with runners in 2 and 3, and at the end of the day, a fly ball's an out.
Thing is, Erin Stone can run, right? So it does put a bit of...
She's a good runner.
Like, that's the only consideration here. She's a good runner. You put the ball in play.
She's a great bunter.
And if you look at how the game's gone, there's been errors on both sides of the team.
And it's a young team. Put pressure on them. And the answer is they are considering it.
Pick-off attempt to centre field. The throw gets away. Low percentage play from King. Advances the runners for Erin Stone, so her job's done. That's Kelly Bested, a pinch runner with 1 out for Erin Reed, so a re-entry. Let's have a look. She just swings at it. Now, Erin Stone, to that point, has shown no fear against Sarah Harvey. She's been swinging freely, has a hit, and the job done from a errant throw.
Wasn't a terrible throw there by Georgia at all, but I think Zoe probably just wasn't quite expecting it, and she was behind the base, not in a position to take that.
Or could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse. So now you got to attack Erin. You've got no choice. But you know what that does do? Opens up a base.
Yeah, playing with fire as well as Stone gets a nice piece of the ball, and a catch taken by Merritt. She has to throw home. It's a great play in the end because Bested thought better of it.
Look, controversial. I think that was the right call from Walkerville.
I mean, that was a great throw from Zoe Marriage.
Courtesy runner for Chelsea Robinson. Casey Taylor will run. Let's have a look at the Carvaiware replay, guys.
Throw was a little bit up the line. There's a chance that they could have scored on it. However, if she gets hosed at home plate, that doesn't give it a chance for Avery to come up to bat with runners in scoring position. So Don't hate that move at all by Walkerville.
This is it, isn't it?
All right.
You have your star import. You've brought in. You hit 2 outs. Penultimate inning, elimination game. Potential winning run at second base. If it's a base hit from Lizzie Avery here, Walkerville are 3 outs away from playing in a championship game. However,
Reggie Fairley is famous for a long time outs. It probably wasn't as long as I thought I was going to get an opportunity to say something. Eric, finish what you were going to say.
I was just going to say, however, Hills are 1 out away from being 3 outs away.
All right, so are we going 4 ball?
Yeah.
Intentional walk?
Well, if you look at her in the night, she
knowing
had
that Larson's up.
The only ball she's hit in play was that rocket to Abby. Then she walked, and then she got a KC. Looks like they're going at him because you've got Larson behind who's hit a double to left field, a single to centre field, and a ground out.
But there's been some misplays in there in the field.
It's first pitch swinging. Now you're going at a batter who's hit 580 on the season, 10 from 17 with 6 RBIs and a home run. Hitless so far tonight, is playing with fire.
I think if you're going to throw to her, you just need to throw those edges and not be afraid to walk her.
0-1, 2 out, 2 on, trailing by 1.
That's a fantastic pitch there by Harvey. Doesn't even look at her face. Doesn't even respond. What a spot.
One. Ground ball straight back to the pitcher. She thought about home before she makes the 3rd out, and Jepson saves a tying run potentially. Is that one? Harvey's got a smile on her face for the first time tonight.
Hit that ball hard, but straight into the ground, straight into Harvey's glove. I think she just saw the runner out of her eye.
She was like, I remember, I can just go to first. I think Jemson at first was like, throw the ball to me.
Wow, Carve Eyewear replay. Harvey gets the job done, and
you see King from catcher go,
not me.
Wow.
Do you think that's the momentum shift now? Because we're in the 7th inning. Hills heat up to 9-1-2. Walkerville, you've gotten through. You've got Larson, King, Mason still, so there's still danger there.
I mean, this is going to be a tough one to look back on from Walkerville, right? I mean, I said it earlier in the broadcast, right? I think Hill's strength was minimizing damage, and they left a lot of runners on base in their first final. Go back to the first inning, runner on 2nd and 3rd, and 2 outs. They left the 2 runners in scoring position. Walkerville did. 3rd inning, runners on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, also known as bases loaded. Runner just 1 out on the board, 2 strikeouts, all 3 stranded. There you have 2 runners on, 2 in scoring position, and 1 out, and both of them were stranded. I mean, that is 7 runners left on base in their 3 scoring opportunities in those innings. And, that's going to come back to haunt them a little bit, especially if they lose by 1 run. They were a base hit away, and they had 5 different cracks at it to find that base hit to potentially send them to a grand final. Stings.
Top of the 7th, Taylor Caudle, 9 strikeouts, is facing batters 9-1-2 here in the top of the 7th.
Oh, she's got 10 strikeouts.
Miscounted 2 in the last inning, make it 10 for the game for Caudle.
And 4 from the last 5 hitters.
Pop up into foul territory. There's so many kids everywhere. It's the Sepsaza Carnival week this week, 50 teams, and for the first time ever in this event, 26 boys teams, more boys teams than girls teams in the first time of the event. Softball, a game for all, for life. Oh, high, and Walkerville going to claim a swing. And Nikki Wong says, no, she didn't. There's a difference between a swing and
yeah.
to save your own skin there.
Look, her wrist definitely didn't break. The bat moved, but there was no movement of the wrists.
1-2. foul tip for strikeout. And Caudle goes to 11 strikeouts, and she's had a night tonight. Yes, she's given up 6 hits, or perhaps 7, depending on whether you count a wild throw or not. But importantly for the Hills Heat is that they've strung their hits together. The innings that they've hit, they've scored.
And when it mattered, too. I mean, they scored their 2 runs to tie it almost instantly, right? And then had their go-ahead in the 5th. Abby Bastion has been in the center of it all. She's got 2 hits, scored twice, a single and a triple. Had the great diving stop at shortstop, a base hit and a Hills win. I don't know. I mean, she's putting a strong case forward for her 2nd consecutive carved player of the game.
Yep, I was just thinking that, and almost ripped off as well with her maiden Premier League home run to miss out on the play of the game, powered by Eastern Australia. But yeah, very well deserved by Zoe Marich in the semi-final on Saturday. Another hard hit shot to the opposite field. There is no fear in this 18-year-old. She took on the world #1 Japan when she debuted for the Aussie Spirit. She touched up New Zealand in the same series. She's now facing the player who threw a record equaling 200 and something strikeouts last season, pitcher of the year, Cath Coral medalist, and then she's made the team of the year this year, Taylor Caudle. Time for a ball.
Definitely a different approach here from Chelsea and Taylor. Probably the last 5 or 6 hitters, Caudle has just absolutely hammered that inside low, that inside high rise ball. Abby's seen 4 pitches so far. Every single one of them been off the plate or outside. So they know she's got power. They know she can run. They're trying to keep the ball away from her.
And the composure from the teenager just allows Chelsea Robinson an opportunity to go have a chat to her pitcher on the 2-2 count with 1 out here in the top of the 7th of the preliminary final, where the winner will take on West Torrens this Saturday night in the Soplesay Premier League Grand Final. Scoots Cafe will bring us that game. Carvalho tonight, and this game has had some terrific moments. If I'm going to go out there and interview a player of the game, I'd love to know who it is. Is anyone
so many
closer to a decision?
Well, Hill's winning currently, unless that changes. Oh, I don't know.
Single. It's extra bases. That's in dead man alley. As Abby Bastion turns 1, she's getting waved around for 3. This is going to be another close play at the base. She slides in safely. Not close at all. 2 triples from Abby Bastion. 3 hits in this game.
You were asking a question before, Steph?
I think I vote Abby now. Although Michaela Yankovic and Sarah Harvey both strong contenders, but far out. Look at that. Put such a good swing, and her speed.
I mean, if the game were to end right now, and it doesn't, I would go Abby Bastion, player of the game. But the play of the game, a bit of a
diving backhand catch.
Well, what about Sarah Harvey with the back-to-back strikeouts as a little sequence or play of the game with bases loaded and 1 out to keep it at 4 runs? They're winning by 5 right now. They stop the damage right there. If Walkerville score more, they're probably up big, and momentum's totally different in this game. Like, I don't know how much more of a bigger play you get than Sarah Harvey striking out Kelly Bested than Chelsea Robinson when they had a chance to pile it on. Yeah. And then proceeding to go through the order without allowing a hit. Like, that was the moment the game shifted.
If she breaks, then, it's over. It's a blowout. Yeah.
And Hills are probably, you're down by 5 runs. It's a different feeling than being down by 2. Instead, it stops at 2. You just got out of the damage. Anyway, Zoe Marich can add on. They might need an insurance run.
Just reaches for 1 there, but no harm or foul for Zoe Marich, who has had a season and played a brilliant game on Saturday and has been a contributor in this one. An important bunt. Scored a run in the first. Just missing 1 and 2, so nice eyes as well. How good have the two hitters been in this game? Erin Stone and Zoe Marich, just solid contributors. Caudle missing that spot. She has peppered that spot, particularly against the right-handers all night long. It's definitely been a go-to because we've often seen Caudle just go back to that rise ball time and time again. She's needed to find another weapon. Just pokes at it. It's going to pop over the top. Abby Bastion's going to score for a third time in this game. And she'll stand up at 2. Zoe Marich, breakout Premier League season. She's been on this journey with the Hills Heat the last few years where they tallied, 6 wins in 2 seasons, and the starting player in each of those years, but was a pitcher going back a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
a right-handed batting, right-handed batting, and now a left-handed batter. Sorry, Steph, go.
What you might not have been able to see is Zoe, as a left-handed hitter, really sits on the line. So that outside pitch by Taylor wasn't actually, that was a good spot by her, but Marich sits so close to the plate. You can kind of see there that her back foot's almost on the line, that outside pitch hit middle of the barrel. So when you've got that left-handed pitcher that's so close to the plate, you have to bust them inside, or that outside pitch needs to be 2 balls off the plate, because that ball, great outside pitch on a lefty, middle of the barrel.
Hard hit shot, Ferguson, and a great catch taken by Hayley Mayer. Just really took the wind out of the sails from the Hills Heat, who were rolling, and then a big shot from Ferguson and a timely catch from Mayer. Carvaiware replay. She read it well, the lefty.
Ooh, a little bit of an ice cream right at the end, but
around.
No, I just see fly 8.
Never in down. F8.
Importantly for the Cats is that Marich stayed at 2. Here's Sarah Harvey, who has been a big player in this game.
Look at her expressions.
All things considered.
Look at her expressions even in the batter's box. She is in some kind of focus
just
bubble
dialed
right now.
In.
Where is she right now?
There's that pitch once again.
Top of the lineup has done all the damage for Hills today. Just 1 for 12, the bottom 4 in the lineup for Hills. All 6 runs have come from the top 5.
Harvey hits one to the left side. Marich was getting waved around, but a nice catch by Steph Gold to end the threat. Hills Heat put an insurance run on the board. It is 6-4. Middle of the 7th. The Hills Heat are 3 outs away from being wooden spooners to finalists in the matter of 12 months.
How many times has that happened?
Did Walkerville do
Walkerville that? Actually, last year, I think. No, Walkerville were second last year, 2 years ago, and then won. Because Hills had their 1-win season, and Walkerville were second last in that year. Hills won 1 game 2 years ago.
West Torrens missed the finals 1 year to then make the finals the next year. What about the year that Hills actually made the final against
with that Georgia Hood run?
Yes, they beat West Torrens in the preliminary.
I remember that.
I actually don't. No, I don't remember anymore. Didn't happen.
I remember that game because I was writing.
Begs to differ.
A few times I was writing F8, F7, but I quickly changed them to little single to left fields and some runs on the board.
All right, let's focus back on the task at hand here for the Walkerville Cats. Now, the defending premiers have got batters 4, 5, and 6 due up, including Larson, who has a couple of hits. Two runs needed to extend the game. 3 outs needed for the Hills Heat with less than 2 runs to win it. They need a 3 spot. They've done it already in this game against Harvey when she came in to throw in the 3rd. Low for a ball, and this is it. That's all on the line right now. A season that is 25 games long and plus a final, so 26 games each. Just a quick stat on that 26-game season so far. Charisma Bergerson, the only player of the 3 teams left in the finals to have played every game.
Wow. That's a good stat.
You're just full of stats, aren't you, James?
Full of something. Cold at the moment, moving around. There's some nervous energy.
Wow.
I don't imagine Harvey has fallen behind 3-0 very often this season.
I think only that maybe in the 3rd inning once on that walk to Avery. She fell behind pretty quickly when she was still finding her command. But you're right, she doesn't walk a lot.
Looked like she crossed up her catcher there too, so...
3-1.
3-1, yeah. I think Hills going into this last inning, like, this will be a really good opportunity for the juniors to step up and experience this kind of game.
Larson fouls it off to go full.
But to not get too excited, not get too ahead of themselves, because Walkerville is still a very, very good hitting team. They're in the meat of their lineup. It's really important they take it pitch by pitch, and like what we said before, as a pitcher, all you can do is hit your spots, ground them out, pop them up, trust that the field behind you is going to get them done.
Yeah, it all starts with a base runner.
Foul.
And what a story for Hills. They committed to just playing their kids. A couple years ago, they won 1 game. They won 5 last year, and then this year they decided to pull the trigger. The time was right to complement a strong culture and your rising talent with a couple of imports to try to elevate them to the next level. Good lesson probably for...
Strikeout number 6 for Harvey, and the Heat are 2 outs away.
To come back from 3-0 on a strikeout like that, that was huge, and a good way for Heat to keep that momentum on their side of the court. Walkerville turn around with a leadoff walk. What do they say about leadoff walks?
Nightmares.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Correct. So that was
rule number 1.
So Hills really just took the momentum back there by coming back with the strikeout. As
Hit shot from King into foul territory. Gee, that's a long ball.
This is the batter here, though, right? Sophie King, if she can get on base, she can pressure a little bit, although her run doesn't matter too much. Pressure a little bit. Georgia Mason has a bit of that clutch DNA about her. This is the batter I'm worried about.
Well, you got to get a runner on Walkerville, and you want the bat in this player's hands most of the time. Maybe a Robinson, but definitely King would be up there at the top of the list. Fouls this one off. West Torrens await the winner Saturday night, 7 p.m. Scoots Cafe Grand Final.
Big smile there from Sophie. If there's one thing she's known as for a hitter, she just fights. She fights, she fouls, she has long at-bats. She's a great person, like you said, James, for someone in this moment. She's going to see pitches, she's going to fight and do anything she can to get on base. She's got speed.
Chases a higher one. It's popped up for Bergerson, who comes charging in. King had lost it. And Bergerson, with the momentum, takes a catch on the plate.
I think it was on the other side of the plate. I think it was in straight foul territory. King just couldn't find it. Bergerson had eyes, and in fact, I think it would have hit King on the head if she'd stayed in her squat.
2 out. Timeout called. Hills Heat make a substitution. Georgia King is being pinch hit. Alyssa Gooley comes in for a bat. Can swing the bat, Alyssa Gooley. As the Hills Heat just have a bit of a chat. They're 1 out away. Oh.
Don't know how many people would have picked Hills to play in a grand final, and they're 1 out away from it.
Well, Hills have been in that 2 spot pretty much the whole season. It was right at the end that Walkerville pipped them.
I think what I meant was in October, at the start of the season. At the start of the season.
Like, oh,
at Christmas, if you told me in August that Hills would be playing in the grand final, I would have told you crazy. If you told me at Christmas, I would have said, okay, yeah, stacks up. But yeah, they pretty cool story. Reg Fairley said before the game last week that they're a little ahead of schedule in terms of even being in the final. She thought hopefully they could just contend for a top 4 spot, get in there this year. Well, they might 1 out away from playing in the final game of the season.
It's a great pitch there by Harvey. That low and outside spot's done really well for her all night. She hasn't missed too much over the plate. She's thrown a lot on that outside corner.
1 and 2. The Hills Heat are a strike away. Up and away, Alyssa Gooley with some composure. 2-2 and 2 out. The Cats' season on the line. Strikeout swinging, and the Hills Heat defeat the defending champions in the preliminary final. Sarah Harvey with an exclamation mark. 2 strikeouts in the 7th for 7 in the game after she conceded 6 on base from her first 7 batters faced.
The team ahead of schedule has just booked a date in the grand final. James, who are you thinking? Are we thinking player of the game, Bastion, and play of the game?
Absolutely.
Are we going Harvey? Are we going with what my pitch was? Or do you have something else?
Get the camera onto the coach fairly, the waterworks, because this is real for this team.
Get Reg in the interview, too.
who won 6 games in 2 seasons and are now playing off in the finals.
We want Reg. We'll see what James decides. But, Steph, yeah, you know your opponent now. But how's this? In the last 2 seasons, we have had 4 different grand finalists, if you want to talk about balance within the competition. And sort of that pathway. I mean, Hills were last place the last 2 seasons in a row. They won 6 games in the last 2 years, and it's been cool to watch this team go throughout their progressions, right? I mean, at the start of the season, the talk was, let's try to win a couple games early to see what the kids can do when they build confidence. Then they got to Christmas, and they were in the top 2, and it was like, all right, well, let's see what they can do. Then they faltered. They won 1 game of their last 6. Now they've won 2 narrow finals games to get to the grand final. It's a tricky team, this Hills squad.
Oh, they've had such a good season. They were really unfortunate to miss out on that double chance in that 1-2 game. So I'm really happy for them to make it all the way through to the final. It's such a good indication of how their season has really been.
Are these the really fun seasons as a player in it? The ones where
killed the power supply grabbing the microphone. I've got Abby Bastian, Sarah Harvey, and the Hills Heat winning coach Reggie Fairley with me right now. The first word's going to come from the coach before she loses it. From bottom to the grand final, Reg, this is a huge effort for a team called the Hills Heat.
Yeah, we said at the start of final series that Heat rises, and we've risen from the bottom. Now we get to take on the top.
I'm going to leave you there because she might lose it as we speak. Go and be with your team, Reg. Well done. Congratulations. We're speaking with the Carve Eyewear Player of the Game and the Play of the Game powered by Eastern Australia. Back-to-back games from an 18-year-old Abby Bastian. You're a Carve Eyewear Player of the Game. 3 hits, 3 runs scored, diving catches in the field. You are having a final series to remember.
I don't know about that. But the girls had made so much momentum that I just tried to do my best, and we have such an amazing Heat family behind us. So
can't keep you out of the game. Like, you've got a magnet in your glove?
I don't know.
All right, Carve Eyewear Player of the Game. Excuse me as I reach for the Carve Eyewear and the Arkabar voucher to Sporties, and another one. So you might be a popular person, I reckon, Abby Bastian. A grand final coming up as well. Is this a cherry on top of a season that you'll never forget? Aussie Spirits and Teams of the Year and...
I'm not sure. It's been a very fun summer of softball, and to have the amazing opportunity to play against some amazing competition and with my little family as well. I'm really honoured and excited.
Abby Bastian, Carve Eyewear Player of the Game. Now, the Play of the Game powered by Eastern Australia, Sarah Harvey. You came in the third inning and 6 of the first 7 batters you faced reached. Mm-hmm. And then from that point there, you struck out 2 with bases loaded. You were lights out. You gave up 1 more hit for the rest of the game. And for that, you received the Eastern Play of the Game. Congratulations. The code's on the back. Talk us through the moment where you've got loaded bases and 1 out, and you've just given up a second walk in an inning where you've given up 3 already.
Every new batter and every new pitch, you just start over. That's what kept me in it. I'm not going to let the people behind me and what happened. It's been done. So I just focused on the next thing, and I just knew that I could handle it, and that's why I'm out there. So.
Well, not only did you strike out 2, you led off the next inning with a hit. The run crosses the plate, and we spoke about it in the commentary that you get a fresh start now. It's a 4-all game, and it sounds like that's the way that you approached it.
Yeah, I just went up there and I was like, I'm going to look for something to hit here and make something happen. So.
Well, you led this Hills Heat team to a grand final. It's just the second in the franchise history. All the very best of luck. You've got the minor premier West Torrens Eagles awaiting. Any thoughts, or you get to that tomorrow?
Play ball. Let's go.
Abby Bastian, Sarah Harvey, Reggie Fairley at the Hills Heat. We'll see you on Saturday night for the Scoots Cafe grand final. Hills Heat versus West Torrens Eagles. Well done.